like, hey, I'm the inspector. And they have like something, I think they have a webcam strapped to their forehead or something. It's like one of those IRL cameras. And they go, hey, I'm the inspector. And they just walk behind the counter and they start walking through the kitchen going, can I check these fries? Can I check these fries? And inevitably there's always one of the employees following them, giving them like a dirty look going, I don't think that this is the inspector. And somebody has to come and like throw them out. Or they go into like the Home Depot and they go into the break room and sit down with the employees and ask where the food is. And it's just, yeah, this is...
I've never seen this before.
It's so... The troll culture on TikTok is so toxic. It's like if I saw my children as... This is the confliction, right? Because I haven't really evolved that much from high school. Mm-hmm. So...
Yeah.
High school Sam is still in there going, they don't work there. But then also there's adult Sam that's going like, if I ever saw my kids doing this, I'd be horrible. I'd realize I'd failed. Like, it's over.
Like, how dare these children?
Like, well, yeah, this is so disrespectful. But then I go, I mean, watch. You'll see. You'll see the confliction.
All right, let's see.
Just listen to him. He's got a clipboard.
How y'all doing? How's it going? I was saying about corporate, just do a little quick inspection. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
That's looking good.
So funny.
What's going on, boss?
What's going on, boss? He's going into the manager's room.
I was saying about corporate to go ahead and do an inspection for y'all.
What is this, a Carl's Jr.?
Oh.
See the back. Trash can. Nope, that's a no-go. Trash needs to be out right now, all right? Man, everything looks good besides the trash, all right? Doing good closing. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then he leaves. He's got a clipboard that he's holding with no papers attached to it.
That confidence is admirable.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
But it's a sociopathic confidence as well. You really have to, like... There's a fine line between, like, owning the room confidence and just the confidence to say anything to anybody where it's like, no, you're broken. The internet broke you as a human, and you're a sociopath. That's that line, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like we just don't care. Like,
nobody cares.
Consequences, what's that?
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
What's the worst they're going to do? Say, hey, get out? Okay.
That's what, and they figured that out.
Yeah, all right, fine, I'll get out.
I feel like you have to pick your location very wisely. Like
sure.
If you did this in Atlanta at 3 a.m., you might wind up getting a different response.
That's tough. But then some people are like, yeah, no, I like that response too. I like the violence. I like to walk that line. You know, there's
I mean, Luigi's getting glam in jail.
Super glammed.
So it's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Even
What difference does it make?
Yeah.
There's another one, Travis. You're gonna love this one. They go to a store.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. They clearly check the bathroom first because it's essential that there's somebody going to the bathroom in a stall. Okay. And then they find an employee, or sometimes it's just another shopper. And they go, excuse me, sir. My brother is locked in the stall in there. Can you help me get him out? And if it's an employee, they unlock the stall. Or if sometimes it's a customer, they look under the stall and you just hear somebody going, what the fuck? And then the guy just laughs and runs away. Because it's not his brother that's locked in the stall.
All right, maybe this is it?
Maybe. My friend is locked in the toilet.
Locked in the toilet, just can't go out.
He can't go out.
Pardon? The male.
Male one.
Yeah, he's the boy.
Ethan!
I'm actually locked in the toilet.
It's a terrible thing to do.
No. The boy toilet. Yeah.
Right.
Are you locked in there? What? Who? Are you locked in the toilet? Who are you? I'm the manager. I'm not. What would you be doing?
It's so confusing.
Hello to TikTok.
Okay,
It's
I
so
get it. Okay,
stupid.
so there's just a random guy.
It's a random dude in the bathroom. It's just a guy. They just go in. There's a
Excuse me, my
stranger
friend's like-
that's taking a shit. Right? The stranger's just taking a shit. And then you get one of the employees to try to unlock the stall from the outside. And then you run away laughing.
Huh?
That's the whole prank. And they do it over and over and over again. I'm addicted to them. I'm still watching those.
Who are you?
But again, it's like, sociopathy. It's not how humans.
Well, I mean, didn't you guys used to play pranks?
I guess.
But they just weren't recorded?
They weren't recorded.
Obviously.
Yeah. There's something about, even if you're not looking through the phone, even if there's a camera, because some of them really do have weird like cameras like on a headband or on a hat or something like that. But there's something about knowing that you're filming and knowing that there's an audience behind phones that you're doing this for, that you're completely displaced from the actual room that you're in. So like when you go in and you're pranking and you're upsetting everybody that's in the room, if you're in the room and everybody is mad at you, it doesn't affect you at all because you're doing it for the likes, because everybody that's on TikTok is who you're thinking about. So you're still on the internet as opposed to being in the actual room that you're in with the human beings that are there with you. It's a crazy thing.
So like a high school prank that you played, you did that just for yourself?
Well, if you played a prank, right, and then everybody in that room...
Like when you would pretend to be wrestlers on AOL Instant Messenger.
That was the beginning of it. Except, yeah, I never told
That was
you.
just for you.
It was just for me. It was just like, yeah, and it was not... I did not do a convincing job. So
You're like, I'm going to go in this chat room, tell everybody I'm Goldust.
Hey, I'm Goldust, the WWE guy. What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody, I'm John Bastow.
Well, that was more of a parody than a trick. That was a parody in MySpace.
That wasn't a prank.
That wasn't a prank. That was a parody of MySpace. And it was really a work of art.
I know.
It played the Fitness Made Simple song when you clicked on it.
We used to use chat rooms. We would take you. Did your school give a school phone book? It had everybody in the entire school district.
Probably.
So we would take that, and you could go into. They used to have like sex chat rooms, and you could put someone's phone number and like their father's name, and you tell them you're looking for hot M4M action.
Right. And then the beauty of early internet was you'd forget that you did it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you do it on a Friday, you forget that you did it, and then maybe next Monday or Tuesday you'd overhear somebody complaining about it. And you go, oh my God, I forgot that I did that. You get the double laugh.
Yeah, my dad's getting all these gay sex calls at 2 a.m.
There's a delayed gratification to it.
I actually just saw on Facebook, I don't know if you're in one, but like my graduating class has like a group on Facebook in high school.
Shout out.
So like I'm in it.
That's a BOCES class?
BOCES?
It's a tech school.
No, man.
Oh. So you didn't go to VOTech?
Nah, but I thought all the kids that did were cool.
I did in either going into high school or at some point in high school. My friend, who was not the strongest student, was like, if you go to BOCES, which was our tech school, you don't have to like go to class. You just go and build shit and work on cars and stuff. I was like, that's an option? He was like, yeah. So I went to my parents and I was like, guys, I want to go to BOCES. And I swear to God, I'll never
Your
forget.
dad must have looked at you.
They couldn't keep a straight face. They were like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, I want to go to BOCES. They were like, it's a step away from juvenile detention center.
That's what it was. Like everybody that I knew that went to VOTech drove a Corvette, was too old to be in high school, smoked cigarettes.
They had beards.
Yeah, they were all so cool.
Right.
But now if you think about it, like, oh shit, like that's what you should have been doing. Look at all, like,
bro, they're probably
trades are never going away.
Yeah, they're probably making more money than any of us.
Yep, absolutely. So
anyway,
anyway,
you were saying you had the Facebook group with your graduating class.
Yeah, so like I'll see it sometimes. I'm not really friends with any of them, but like I'll see it in my feed sometimes. And somebody literally last week just posted a photo of our 1999 graduating year class prank.
I did not have class pranks in my school.
Do you know what our class prank apparently was? Because I don't remember it.
Were you involved, do you think?
No, I
Okay.
definitely wasn't involved.
Okay, what was the class prank?
Everybody parked their cars sideways so they took up more spaces than they needed to.
Thank God TikTok came out,
But
because
that
that
was-
prank sucks.
25 years ago, that's like, what? The teachers are going to freak out.
We did a good thing here.
We fucked it up.
All these cars are sideways. How's anybody supposed to park here?
There's not enough spaces.
We're going to get to school very early and park sideways. And we'll take all the spaces. And then we'll be at school early.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Hey, let's wake up early and do this.
Yeah.
But-
What if the prank is that we all stayed home? No. Early and sideways.
But that was,
That was the innocence.
yeah.
Now it's like, what if we burn down the school but put it on TikTok? Because then it's like, who cares if the school's burned down? The TikTok people like it. There's
Called
another one.
monetize.
There's a big TikTok one that I will never stop. I just scroll. I get caught in these loops because there's so many of them, and they're all great because it's infuriating to do to somebody. It's these people, because once one person gets successful doing it, multiple people obviously do it, right? But the prank is that you go into like a grocery store and you ask for an item. And then when the person gives you an item, you say, "Good boy." Oh. And the person just looks at them and they're so mad. And then they just stand there, right? You don't leave. You just stand there waiting for the person to react. So you go like, you'll be checking out and you'll go to the bag boy, right? And he's like, "Hey, could you put that in its own bag?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." And they go, "Good boy." And it's so mean. It's infuriating. It's dehumanizing. Or they'll go, "Hey, can you give me that drink? The one from up there, the one from up there?" And they go grab it, and then they hold it, and then the guy goes, "Okay, now put it back." And the guy puts it back, and then he goes, "Good boy."
Well, nobody wants to be called good boy.
No. And they'll do it to like old people, like not senile old people, but like, you know, the Greatest Generation old people, like old enough to be a grandparent now old people that like don't have time for this bullshit. And they get fucking pissed. Good boy. You can already see the guy's face.
Could you grab me that?
Could you grab me that?
Could you grab me that? The green one right there?
Which one?
The green one.
And he could grab it himself.
Good boy.
See how pissed that dude is? What?
It's just a
Are you
wall.
geeked?
You geeked?
Are you geeked? Geeked? Yeah.
Good boy.
See, like you're having this interaction with another human being, but your half of the interaction is just for Twitter. And you're just saying things that the internet laughs at, but now you're doing them in public spaces. And it really is a social experiment that points out how broken we are.
Internet people are fucking weirdos.
It's so weird, but it's funny.
It's very funny.
The guy's just looking like, "Why did you call me good boy?" And the person's responding to him going, "Hey, are you geeked?" Like, what? I don't know what's going on. I watched one where like a lady in Walmart, she works at Walmart, and the guy threw a thing on the floor, and the lady's like walking by, and he's like, "Can you pick that up for me?" And she's like, "No, I have a bad back." And he's like, "Come on." And she's like, "Why do you need me to pick it up for you?" She's like, "Will you just pick it up for me?" And she's like this older lady. She's like, "I have a bad back. I'm not going to lean over and pick it up for you." He's like, "Will you please pick it up for me?" And she goes, "If I pick it up for you, are you going to buy it?" And he goes, Yeah. "Will you just pick it up for me?" She's like, "Fine." And she bends down and she's like obviously in pain, and she picks it up and she hands it to him, and he just goes, "Good boy." And she's like, "What?" What?
What is the impulse to even stop for these people, though? Like, you see some weird kid holding a fucking phone looking at you.
A lot of time, because I thought it was too, like people all just going through their phones. But a lot of them, you see both of their hands. So they clearly have something on them that's recording. It's like these IRL streamers that just have a camera that's connected. Maybe it's like they have a backpack or something, and it's connected. So you are just a human being living a human life, not realizing that somehow, you know, Reddit has spilled out over into your local Walmart and going like, "Well, I'm on Reddit. I have to look out for trolls. Let me make sure." You think you're just shopping at Walmart.
Yeah, you're not expecting.
You don't have to look out for trolls in Walmart, and then they catch you.
I see a dude under the age of like 25, and I just assume he's a fucking weirdo of some kind, and I'm not engaging with him.
Yeah. Excuse me. Nope. No. Not for Gen Z. Not going to happen.
There's a bunch of odd ducks sitting around edging themselves.
Yeah. You are weird. And you're probably part of that goon culture that I don't want anything to do with. Yeah. Yeah, it seems more and more. And obviously, you know, there are developed people like Danielle who leaves the internet on the computer and the phone.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I mean, like I said, pandemic, COVID, it really did fuck us all up.
That's a good point.
I think it's because of that.
That's a good point. Because if they're like, say, your age, if they're like 22, 23, that means when they were 18, 19, 20, 21, they were all locked up because of COVID.
It does weird things to your brain.
Yeah, they don't know how to they don't know how to be in public. And they're just like, well, what if I just did troll internet pranks
I kind of feel like
Because
it's
you can,
it's
yeah. 'Cause
just
my dad-
the same mentality with just newer technology. Like,
Well, that enables it, but
I mean, we did prank phone calls because we had that technology, and that's what we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody always wants to, like, kids always want to prank.
But kids,
Now they're just using the current technology to facilitate that want.
But the other reason we did prank phone calls was because we were afraid to, like, most of those pranks, even the old Jimmy Norton pranks where it's like you're throwing something out a car window or you're putting ice cream on a car seat.
Yeah,
like
all
you're
fun.
not actually looking at a person face to face. You're not making eye contact. You don't have to deal with their actual emotional response. The fact that now all these TikTok pranks you are 6 inches away from a person that you are pranking. You're looking them right in the face. You're not emotionally reacting. There is a disconnect there, even in pranking, that I don't think existed before.
Well, no, but there's a disconnect in society.
Yes.
So it's just like, that's
Yes.
why I feel like it's just normal. They're just taking current day.
Like in the societal disconnect.
We're already disconnected.
This is how pranks work.
Yeah, this
It's
is
not-
how pranks work in
Okay.
modern day.
I like that. The disconnect isn't exclusive to the prank. There's this disconnect is
Everybody's
just there.
disconnected. The ferry doors open in the morning to get on the boat, and nobody can just stop playing their game for 2 seconds to look straight ahead and walk onto the boat.
Or you should be able to assault someone for that.
Like, it just,
Right. Or at
everybody's
least-
disconnected.
At least like figure out the exact moment to slap the phone out of the hand so it's right in that crack so the phone falls in the water.
I
I mean,
fantasize about that kind of thing.
there could be nothing. I mean, as much as I like a car getting can opened, somebody missing a train, which by the way, I saw somebody missing a train,
Oh,
and it was so
you must
great.
have the best. Was this today?
No, not today. It was, and not only was it not, it was on the way home.
Oh.
So getting off the train on the way home, it's me in my least rushed state. I'm
All right, you've done it.
I'm zen. You know what I mean? It's the longest period of time in the day before the next show. So I'm fairly zen. And seeing somebody rush and the train go away from them, I mean, it was paradise on earth. But as much as I love all that stuff, the idea of somebody's phone falling out of their hand in the crack between the platform and the boat and knowing that the phone is now in the water,
Plopping into the ocean.
it's irrecoverable. I mean, it could be...
Just walk onto the boat. It's literally 20 seconds.
It's a fitting punishment for
Yeah.
their own selfish behavior.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, might be, now that I think, my favorite scene in The Office might be, and it was when it got not great, when Andy was out on the boat and he accidentally knocked his phone and his water into the ocean. Things falling into the ocean are as funny as it gets because you're not going to recover it. I mean,
No.
think about the
That's gone.
Think about the submersible. We're never seeing any of those humans or the submersible.
No.
They're gone.
We heard that audio, and that's it.
No. Help! Help! Danielle, our previous intern to you, he was here. What you remember the submersible,
Yeah.
the Titanic submersible?
Step your game up.
He came to the show with. You've been doing a great job sending news emails and stuff, bringing content to the show, but he found exclusive audio without knowing. I mean, like he came to us in full authenticity and said, "Guys, have you heard this?" And on his phone, he said, "My friend just sent this to me." And it was when we were still looking for the submersible. We didn't know it had crushed like a can. But it was audio. It was really startlingly clear of people going, "Help! Help! Help!" And he goes, "They found them." And we were like, "Coop, you've been duped.
Yeah.
This is not real audio." He thought it was real under the ocean audio of the people in the submersible.
Could have been.
But again, I mean, if this is what they're doing in Duxbury, there's a weird disconnect going on where people, but that goes to the same point as all these weird TikTok pranksters where there is no sort of, the disconnect between internet and real life has been lost. So like when you send somebody audio on the internet, it's one thing to hear it for yourself, but in a room full of people, you should immediately know this is not a real thing. This is not real life.
That's when you're like, oh, of course it's not real.
Of course it's not real. Let's go to Mike in New Jersey. By the way, our phone number is 866-969-1969, 866-969-1969. You want to call in this morning. Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Sammy?
Hey, man.
I think the biggest thing is there's no consequences. When we were younger, when me and you were younger, and we did something, we fucked around, somebody put us in check. And the problem today is these little shitbags do something, and they don't know what it's like to get punched in the face.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you can't. Yeah. That's part of the consequence. It's not just like, figuring out the legal punishment. It's the societal consequence. Even somebody telling you, like, sometimes your parents need to tell you doing this makes you a bad person. You know what I mean? Because that will, if you have a good relationship with your parents, or even a decent one, your parents being like, that's a bad person thing to do, will shake you. It will ground you quickly. And the next time you think about doing that, you'll think about one of your parents going like, oh, they're going to think I'm a bad human being. Maybe I shouldn't do this.
I think it was hilarious from, I believe it was Jackass 1, the movie with, what's his name? He goes, my dad wasn't mad at me. He was just disappointed.
Yeah. That's right. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, like, we've also lost that thing where Jackass really made people up the prank game, but you were also always supposed to do Jackass pranks and stunts with your friends. Like, that was how you tortured your friends.
Yeah.
Not strangers.
No.
Yeah, and like alone.
Right. Or with a camcorder. You could do it with a camcorder. Because that's what they did. Because you need to introduce the prank to the camcorder.
Of course.
Brendan in Florida.
Hey, good morning, Sam. How are you?
Good, buddy.
Hey, I actually want to make an audible. My original call kind of timed out. So just about with kids and their lack of awareness or like even discipline. I work in a middle school.
Oh, boy.
And oh, yeah, it's a walking disaster. I'm actually in law enforcement. I had a kid tee off on me earlier in the school year, and basically the way that it was handled, he was back on campus before I was.
Wait, when you say tee off, you mean like there was a fight?
Not a fight. He was having a episode, I can say.
Okay.
And I was trying to be gentle, and he's just a lot smaller than I am, so
sure.
Just he was like a piece of spaghetti, and he was able to get to my head twice and ring the bell. And yeah, he was back on campus before I was, and just the way that things are handled now, a lot of times they coddle these kids. And I think it's just now we're setting them up for failure. We're all screwed in the future, I think.
Well, yeah, because and it's also parents too. Like, you never want your kid to be the problem. Like, I mean, even that dude from the NFL that we were talking about yesterday, whose mother was the one who really pushed the bullying agenda, because it's not like her son could have been an asshole or anything like that. Like, that's probably part of it. That, like, anytime there's a problem between a teacher and a student, parents will go like, well, clearly it's the teacher's fault, right? There's no way my kid is sitting there in class being an asshole. There's no way that's happening.
Yeah, and I've had instances where it's on camera, like crystal clear, and that's not my kid, and they're still wearing the same outfit from an hour ago. I've had to leave my office and just second guess my career choice.
Yeah, you as a teacher, you must. When the kids come to the realization that there are no consequences, you must look at them and go like, yeah, you figured it out. You're right. Please do what I say, but if you don't, no one's going to stop you. Like, it's a suggestion at most.
Yes, and then I know you guys were talking about BOCES earlier in the morning.
Yeah.
It's not all bad kids. I actually obtained a pilot's license from BOCES. I went there to fly. And my best friend ended up becoming a pilot, and they all make a shitload of money.
Yeah, but now they're flipping planes upside down because they went to BOCES.
Hey! They fly for Spirit. Just saying, they haven't fallen out of the sky yet.
Yes, Spirit is. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's not DEI. Maybe it's BOCES that is the problem with all these airline things.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, Brendan.
Appreciate it, man. Congratulations for your show.
Thanks, buddy. Dr. X in Mexico City. What's up, Dr. X?
Yo, guys, when we were kids, from the 80s and whatnot, we had juvenile hall just hanging over our fucking heads. No switches, no spankings. You pull some shit in school, the first thing they'd tell you is, you want to go to juvenile hall? And, of course, about once a year, they'd bring in these bad-looking motherfucker cholos He goes, yeah, vato, I'm Juvie Hall. I'm 14 years old. These guys had muscles and mustaches, and they're already in Juvie Hall. That shit kept you straight, dude. Straight.
Dr. X, were you in school or part of the Scared Straight program?
Sir, this was just your normal. And all we did was party. We didn't do any vandalism and shit. But no, it kept me straight enough, dude. I never got in trouble after that shit again. I did shit like Norton, all that crap about putting a shit in books and throwing them down the library. All that crap we used to do until the juvenile hall kids showed up. Scared straight, Sammy.
Wow. Thanks, Dr. X. Maybe that's what we need. That's
Threats of sodomy.
Yeah. Just absolute prisoners and convicts coming in and saying, this is the path that you're on and this is what will happen to you. Although I do think we are potentially raising a super generation. I'm actually, as of today, very excited about the next generation to come. Because I don't know if you heard about this.
Like the generation that hasn't been born yet?
No, that's being born right now.
Okay.
The babies.
Do we have a name?
Is that Alpha? Gen Alpha?
Better be. It's either Alpha or Sigma because they rule.
Or Meta?
No, we already know who they are.
Is that what they're called? Generation Alpha?
I think so.
That's sick.
That's after Gen Z, but unless you mean even younger.
Oh, no, but does that mean after Generation Alpha, it's Generation Beta?
Generation Alpha is the generation of people born after 2010. They are the first generation entirely born in the 21st century. They are the generation after Gen Z and before Gen Beta. I would hate to be in Gen Beta.
No, not Gen Beta. Oh, you can't do
Gen Beta. Oh, Gen Beta starts now. Generation Alpha is 2010 to 2014 to 2024.
They couldn't have known. I mean, they thought they were just going with the Greek alphabet because they ran out of regular letters.
Nobody wants to be Gen Beta.
No. And Sigma is so far down the line.
Sigma's way.
It's gonna be so long. We may not even be alive to see Generation Sigma because that's gonna be the best one.
Oh, and it's gonna be a long time too.
People born between 2025 and 2039. All right. Well, listen. The only reason I bring it up, 2025, is because the first member of Generation Beta, which they might have to change Beta.
Okay.
Because the first member of Generation Beta that I've heard of, Tony Hawk, just announced he's a grandfather.
Jesus.
I know. First of all, it's tough because we're sitting there on PS1 playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
I mean,
Tony Hawk is a grandfather. Wait till you hear this. Tony Hawk's son is married to and had a kid with.
Oh, I know.
Francis Bean Cobain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's even more, because then the first picture that you see...
Oh, wait, this is Francis's kid?
Francis.
So Courtney's a grandmother.
Courtney's a grandmother. And you go back and you see a picture of Kurt in those red sunglasses with little Francis sitting on his shoulders. And as a baby, she looks exactly like Courtney Love, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. But so now, so Francis Bean Cobain is a mother. And Courtney Love, but this baby... Look, I mean, think about this baby's lineage. Who are your grandparents? Kurt Cobain, Tony Hawk, and Courtney Love are this baby's grandparents. It's the craziest, coolest genetics that maybe anybody's ever had.
Oh, he was born last year, so he's in Gen Alpha.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. The final baby of Gen Alpha.
Ronan. Pretty dope name.
All things considered. Ronan Hawk?
No, Ronan Walker.
Walker's a cool name, too, because a Walker Texas Ranger.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Walker Texas Ranger was Chuck Norris, and Chuck Norris rules.
I just know about the Walker Texas Ranger lever.
Yeah, Ronan Walker is a badass name.
I wonder why Walker.
I don't know. Is Tony Hawk a gimmick name? I don't know. But it leaves me feeling very optimistic because there's going to be a child walking this planet whose grandparents are Kurt Cobain, Courtney Love, and Tony Hawk. Like, I can't think of cooler, I'll say cooler genetics to put into somebody.
Oh, I think Walker might be the middle name.
Oh my God, Ronan.
Because he's Riley Hawk.
Riley Hawk's such a badass name. That dude's cool too. Look at him. He's awesome.
Yeah, no, he looks cool.
He looks real cool. Plus, you get the feeling that, like, Tony Hawk is awesome, but also probably a good dad. Don't you think he's probably a good dad?
Who?
Tony Hawk.
Of course.
He seems like a good dad.
Yeah, of course he is. He's good at everything.
He's wholesome.
Video games, skateboarding.
He makes awesome video games. He's an awesome skateboarder and still an awesome skateboarder as a grandpa.
Funny dude.
Funny guy. Hangs
Doesn't
out.
take himself too seriously.
Nope. Did a podcast with Jason Ellis and The Undertaker.
So he probably kept himself grounded.
Yes.
But at the same time, he knows that he's the most famous person ever and there ever will be in his field.
Yeah, I mean, he's Michael Jordan. I mean, he's Babe Ruth of
No one's going to come around and reinvent skateboarding and be more famous than him. Like that era is over.
No,
there
you're
will always be
100% right.
skateboarders. Maybe Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne, Bucky Lasik. Those are the other two. Yeah. No, you're right. Tony Hawk is like he's the godfather of all of it. And then, I mean, but by the same token, you could argue, but there's nobody more famous and noteworthy and arguably copied in
Courtney
grunge
Love?
era music than Courtney Love. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Kurt Cobain is that guy from that whole era. Like when it's like, well, what ended hair metal? Kurt Cobain did.
Yeah, it was grunge, yeah. Yeah.
And as much as like, you know, Eddie Vedder had a lot to do with it, and Chris Cornell had a lot to do with it, and you know, Kurt Cobain is Kurt.
Well, yeah, but that's also because, and listen, Nirvana's my favorite band of all time, but you know,
You like Nirvana better than Pearl Jam?
Of course, yeah. I mean, Nirvana changed my life. Like,
oh, I didn't know that.
Nirvana, without a doubt, is responsible for like the whole trajectory of my musical taste, my life, like everything.
That's sick.
Like, but
is that why you turned your room into a heart-shaped box?
That's right.
That's sick. That's cool. That's real cool.
But you know, there is a lot of that legacy is the fact that he died at 20.
Of course.
I mean,
of course.
Pearl Jam's put out 10 albums or whatever, and like some of them really aren't that good, and like now they're more of like a touring band, and I love them because of their live shows, you know? I'm not like, oh, look at this amazing 10 album catalog. Nirvana had 3.
And you know Kurt would have gone into weird stuff. You know he would have had a flute album. He 100% would have had a flute album.
He was so progressive to begin with.
Right. Yeah, he would have had a flute album.
But now he's got Ian Fidance running around in dresses doing karaoke.
That's right. Yeah, he would have been like how like Robert Plant kind of did what he did and then has completely moved on to something else. And you can be the biggest Robert Plant fan and not like anything he's done in 25 years.
Yeah. Which, by the way, is fine.
It's totally fine. I kind of respect it.
Yeah.
That like that's how you know that somebody's actually an artist.
But, you know, Kurt died in his time when, like, okay, now that your entire legacy is amazing.
Yes, everything.
Everything.
It's untouchable.
From start to finish.
And and by the way, I'll give him Foo Fighters, too.
You'll give him Foo Fighters.
Oh, yeah. Foo Fighters. Yeah. I'll give him Foo Fighters. He put Dave Grohl on the map. I'll give him Chris Novoselic's political career, too.
Okay. It was short-lived, but okay.
It was a good one, though. It's pretty strong. You know?
But yeah, I mean, the fact that this kid has...
I mean...
2 grandparents. You get 2.
It's got the...
No, 2
grandfathers.
I'm sorry, 2 grandfathers.
The greatest grandfathers of all time. And it's like you have to grow up without one of your grandfathers, which is tough.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that you're growing up without is Kurt. And the one that you get is Tony Hawk.
That's amazing.
You literally can't ask for more.
No.
I mean, I would say this kid might be
the coolest kid ever,
the greatest white person that's ever lived.
Yeah,
you know, because
I can't think of a better one.
Because these are top tier.
Abraham Lincoln, no.
Abraham Lincoln did good stuff, but I don't know about the lineage.
No.
You know,
singer of Eve 6.
He'd be a sick grandfather. You talking about the Heart in a Blender? Yep.
Yeah. No, that's me. That's my grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean...
No, it's wild to think about.
Because Tony Hawk is in that same category, and Tony Hawk is still alive, but when you look at Tony Hawk's, which, God bless, but when you look at Tony Hawk's legacy, he's never had a period of time where he was doing stuff that people were like, I'm not really into it. Like, if you were into skating, he was the man. If you were part of the whole PlayStation era, I don't think people realize that, like, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater,
I mean,
it was like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo 64... The most famous game is probably GoldenEye.
Yes.
PlayStation It's hard. I mean, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is definitely Rushmore. It might be the most the PlayStation game. I mean, if I'm going to revisit a PlayStation game now, it's got to be Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Road Rash. I like Road Rash, but that's, I think, probably more my personal taste.
Well, there does appear to be a new Tony Hawk Pro Skater coming out.
Oh, I would love that. I'd love that. I'd grind all over the place.
There was a
oh my gosh.
There's like a hidden thing in I think Call of Duty. Yeah.
Oh.
That showed this little advertisement that just said 3/4/25, and that's clearly Tony Hawk.
That's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We might get a new Tony Hawk in 2 weeks.
And Tony Hawk replied to it with
eyeball emoji.
Eyeball emoji.
Oh, it's my favorite emoji. Oh, and Xbox has an eyeball emoji too?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So something is going to be announced.
Oh my gosh. I just bought my son an Xbox for his birthday. The idea that we could sit there, I could raise my son playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Put on some Goldfinger.
Oh my gosh. They better not touch the soundtrack.
You want it to be exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
Superman over and over and over.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind if it was the exact same game. My son would just be like, these graphics are terrible. It's totally Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Look at the swooshes. Look at the kind of, the
Well, yeah, I mean, this is TonyHawkTheGame.com.
Okay, well, that gives it away,
so
doesn't
you're
it?
really cracking the code.
All right, well, look at me. I got it. Get it out to the trades. Sam has figured out what the secret code is. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But is 3/4/25 the announcement or the release?
No,
Probably
it's
the
definitely the announcement.
Probably a trailer.
Yeah. They don't drop these like albums.
Or mixtapes. I wish that it
Which
was...
you can because it's digital.
It's digital. You can just drop it on the store.
Yeah. Target would have this in the back room already. Somebody would know about it.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you drop it digitally and say it's coming out on hard disk in a week. Yeah. That's going to be great. And nothing on GTA 6, huh? Just that trailer?
Later this year. I would assume another trailer should drop
soonish. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe for the spring?
Yeah.
Do you think it's really going to come later this year? Your bet was October?
My bet was fourth quarter. And Hot Dog was like, no, it's going to come early next year. And I'm like, you're an idiot.
I mean, that's what he says. But I mean, his takes are the worst.
No, you just wait. Yeah, I would bet by Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's probably as smart to make it the Christmas.
Yeah, they have
game.
no reason to. What are they going to lose out on? Sales? Yeah. No, everybody's going to buy it.
Although, are they still like? It's not as easy to give a video game for Christmas anymore because, like you said, they're all digital. So you almost have to give like.
You still buy physical copies?
I know, but what kid is going to be? What am I going to do with this disc? I have the discless version of the system. What the hell am I going to do with this? You know, I had to do some heavy lifting because at Christmas time, my son plays Brawl Stars.
What is Brawl Stars?
Brawl Stars, it's just like a multiplayer, very sort of arcadey. It's technically a fighting game, but it's not like a battle game. Like it's a very cartoony. It's a fun.
I see.
It's a fun game.
Okay.
But it's like and it's perfect. He's 8 years old. It's perfect for him.
Is it like Mortal Kombat?
No, not at all like Mortal Kombat. It's like, but it's multiplayer. So it'll be like teams of. It'll be like 3-on-3, and each of the three are a different human being actually playing.
Is it like Bomberman?
Kind of like Bomberman, yeah, okay. Sure. But he goes like, gems are their currency. Everybody's got currency.
Mm-hmm.
Gems are their currency. So he was like, I want Robux for Christmas. I was like, perfect. We get him the Robux gift cards, no problem. And we took him to see the mall Santa and everything. Everything was great. On Christmas Eve, I go, you excited about tomorrow, dude? He goes, yeah, I'm super pumped. I go, why are you so, what are you really excited about? He goes, because tomorrow I'm getting Robux and I'm getting Brawl Star gems. And I go, you are? He goes, yes. Not like I want to. He goes, that's what I'm getting. I go, how do you know that's what you're getting? And he goes, because I asked Santa and he said yes. And I was like, he said yes to gems? And my son was like, yes. And I go, how could Santa give you gems? You can't get like a gift card for gems. I don't think Santa can do gems. And he goes, Dad, Santa is magic. He can hack into my iPad.
Smart kid.
And I was like, oh, I guess you're right. Put him to bed. I'm sitting there going, Jess, What's his iPad code? I gotta hack into this iPad and put gems on.
Yeah, we did that.
But I did, you know what I mean? Just like fill up the currency in the game.
It'd be funny if you guys had no idea what his iPad password was. And
no.
just, like, have no idea what he's doing on that thing.
I'm just like sitting there, like trying to real carefully get his thumbprint while he's sleeping.
I only have one more guess.
Like he's a cheating spouse, like holding his iPad in front of his face. But yeah, that's what I had to do. I had to hack into the iPad and get the currency put on
Wait,
there.
I know all about Brawl Stars.
You love Brawl Stars?
Well, the kids I babysit do. And then so they're like, can you download? Can you play?
That's what he says to everybody that comes in the house.
Yeah, and I literally, like, a few nights ago, I was like, my phone, like, there's something with the storage, and, like, I had and he was like, what? I was like, no, it's just not.
Yeah, he actually said that my wife was sus and skibbity because she has Brawl Stars but doesn't play it.
Yeah.
So they said that makes you both sus and skibbity. Wow, don't tell him. He'd have unkind things to say about you. You don't want to be sus or skibbity, let alone both. Dad, Mom's so sus. I go, why is she sus?
He calls your wife
very sus.
Does she get pissed off?
Furious. And then
I'm sure it feels like you and him are ganging up on her.
Well, that's when you
laugh.
Of course, because he goes, Mom's so sus, and she can already see I'm smiling. And then she gets mad, and when she gets mad, I get happier. And then when he explains why she's sus, because she has Brawl Stars and doesn't play, I go, bro, that is so sus. You want to play Brawl Stars? He goes, yeah, Dad, let's play. And I start playing. That way she's sus and I'm not. Smart, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
It's so funny. And then he goes to bed, and I still keep calling her.
And plus, when are you going to turn down an opportunity to play video games?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think I got him an Xbox?
Of course I want to play video games.
Oh, the best. Sometimes he goes like this. Dad, you want to play Xbox and I'll watch you? I go, yeah. Let's bond. Nick in Virginia.
Hey, Sam. I just want to let you know that you can get remastered versions of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on Xbox today.
Oh.
So I think you need to get your son an early birthday present.
I might do that. You got to give these kids the education that they need. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, and they were just as fun as they were when I originally played them. So I hope you enjoy.
I will. Thank you very much, Nick. 866-969-1969 is the phone number. Yeah, that's true. That's what made GoldenEye, that's what made Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that's what made all those games so great. That's what made like WrestleMania 2000 such a great wrestling game. Is that it's just
that was for Nintendo 64.
Yes,
right?
yeah, and No Mercy. It was the same game engine, but it was just fun. Every time you turned it on, you could just turn it on, grab a controller, and whether you were playing for like 3 hours or 15 minutes.
Oh, this game was the best.
It was just fun. It was fun to play. It was fun to play the matches. Like you didn't have to invest. I get so lost now. Well, I'm such a boomer, but I get so lost now because like they're like, hey, here's Red Dead Redemption. All it's going to require is 13 hours of your time in one sitting. And I'm like, I don't have that kind. I can't do that.
No, I know.
Is there a code I can put in that unlocks everything, and then I can go like fly planes?
Yeah, you can just play for a little while.
Yeah, but what is playing for a little while?
An hour.
And then what do you do in the hour? Like run through a field and find a stream to fish in?
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm going to cook these fish up next time.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I can't.
No, I get it. It's very time intensive.
Yeah.
Or consuming, right?
And it's not just that one. It's like all the story-based games. There's such a narrative structure to them that you have to devote hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, no, I know. And that's one of the main reasons why it's so easy for me to just like jump onto Fortnite, because I know
Fortnite
I could play 20 minutes and I'm done. Or jump onto NBA 2K25, play a game, 30 minutes, I'm done.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because I know that if I want to play a game that's story-based, which I still love, I don't want to devote less than an hour to it, because then I don't really feel like I'm playing. And I don't typically have more than an hour, in a row to do something.
The 2K games are really smart though, because you can do it either way. Like they have the ability to just turn it on, play a game, I'm done, 20 minutes. Or in their like Rise to the Top or whatever it's called mode, it's so story based now that I know in the NBA game, I'm hoping they bring it into the WWE game for very selfish reasons. But in the NBA game, like you as a player can go and like do interviews and do podcasts and stuff like that.
Well, I did read some stuff for the new WWE game that I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's exciting.
The Island of Relevancy.
Yeah, just like real more like intensive first player storylines.
Yeah. I was pitching hard to the 2K people. I mean, it'd be great if you had wrestling podcasts in the game. You could have authentic
hey, maybe like
a
a pre-show character.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe an after show too. like I don't know. I think that we just have good ideas firing across all cylinders
maybe
right
like
now.
Kathy Kelly gets beat up and somebody else has to take her place.
Oh, who's gonna fill in? He could do it all. Just somebody who could he could do the podcast, or he could do the pre-show, or maybe they're coming up to Sirius and they're doing a mainstream show. I don't know.
It could be from his basement. I don't know.
It's just all kinds of ideas. I have ideas. I can come in if you want. I can come into the office.
You need me to do some motion capture?
Yeah. Come into the office. Talk to you guys about a couple ideas. Do some mocap. Whatever you guys are feeling right now. Yeah. I do. I like that there's a place for all of it. I just get frustrated when people love these long play games and I don't get to enjoy them. It's just jealousy. I don't get
That's
to
all
enjoy
it is
them.
because they're amazing.
I know. Everybody's like, oh, this is amazing. I go, well, I got 3 jobs and a family. What do you want from me? Rob and Manahawkin?
Nope.
You got scared. I get it. It's an intimidating time. Look, everybody's got to be on their P's and Q's. I guess Elon is firing everybody. Everybody's getting very concerned. Elon is making all the government agencies send out emails that everybody has to list the things that they do. Like, give me a 5 bullet point list of what you did. And it's not even like what you do, it's what you did this week or last week.
Yeah.
And, I'm not I'm not shocked that there's not a lot of positive responses to it, only because, I've been in situations where a new manager comes in and goes like, hey, can you send an email with everything that you do? And I go, I'd rather not. I don't want to send an email of everything that I do. You mean audition for my job? No, I don't want to do that. That sounds terrible.
Right, but he's not the boss. That's why it's so funny.
And he's not the boss.
Like, what I'm enjoying about this is that he sends this email out, and everybody just assumes it's from him. It had nobody, sincerely Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. He sends this email out.
Yeah, I like that people really do. Like, the visual is him at a keyboard with a, BCC all.
I bet it is.
That's very possible.
So he sends this email out. Then he writes a follow-up on Twitter. So if you're not on Twitter, you don't know the part about, if you don't respond, you'll be fired.
Right.
And then, all the department heads are like, yeah, don't do that.
Don't even worry about it. That's
and what's funny to me is that these are all, real Trump loyalists that are like, don't do that. Tulsi saying don't do it. Marco Rubio saying don't do it.
Lil Marco?
Lil Marco, yeah. The new FBI guy, not Bongino, the guy who's really in charge. He's saying don't reply, and then Trump's saying no, you guys should definitely reply.
Yeah, I mean it's a little unnerving that there is the possibility that it's oh, okay, we'll just replace everybody saying don't reply. I also think that I can't imagine, because clearly we have a lot of government reform that can be done. You know what I mean? Clearly, we do not exactly. I don't think the United States government and their operations are known for streamlining things. But the idea that, I know, we'll try to fire everybody that's on the lowest levels possible. That's every company move that's ever been done, and it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change culture. It doesn't change anything. And you should also be able to speak to managers and go, hey, could you describe to me what your employees are doing? And if your managers can't tell you what their employees are doing that work directly under them, then maybe the manager is at fault.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like that's what's happening.
No, it sounds like the employees have to.
And I mean, how many stories am I going to read about so-and-so department is trying to hire back all the people that they fired because they didn't realize how important they were.
But
they can't reach them because they don't have their emails anymore.
It's just weird because I was thinking, where have I heard that before? And it was oh yeah, when they tried to hire everybody back when they fired everybody at Twitter. There is a game plan that we follow here. You remember that? Everybody got fired at Twitter, And then they were like, okay, we might have been a little hasty.
We actually need a few of them back.
People started getting hired back. And then it almost seems like Elon is confused on Twitter as to why he's like, this is not, why would anybody object to this? Why, this is not a big deal. And it reeks of somebody who has for a long time been a billionaire, who's been a high level person who doesn't remember what it's like to just be somebody with a job that's like, what the fuck is this bullshit that's happening? You know? I mean, it's a wild thing. Although, yeah, I don't know. Elon does have a certain charisma about him. You know, he was at CPAC, and they love him. And so they had him on stage, and they gave him a super badass chainsaw. And he reacted appropriately. Oh, that's my favorite Elonism, by the way. Oh, I kind of like hope he never leaves, you know? Like, I just, Elon being a person is my favorite.
Oh, he wants to be a person so bad.
He loves being a person. And he's surrounded.
He's not really good at it.
No, but he's surrounded himself with people that are like, that was actually a pretty good person you just did.
Yeah, you do person really well.
You're pretty good at being a person.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
Oh.
Chainsaw!
That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. It doesn't get any better than that. Chainsaw! Like, let me just shout what I see. Say what you see. Chainsaw! It's, I mean, dude, it's 100%. What happened when he first got to Twitter? Okay? He buys Twitter. It's clear that he didn't fully know what he was buying. It's clear that that his plan that he has is not really a full plan. And then he goes in with a prop, and he's holding a sink, and then instead of just letting it be metaphorical, he has to literally explain, let that sink in, which I thought he was throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, at Twitter, but no, it was just let that sink in, which he says verbally, and we go, this is nuts, and everything kind of goes wrong, and he's got to correct it. And it seems like he's kind of smoothing things out. So then he goes into government and does the exact same play. He jumps into the position. Everybody's like, wait, I don't remember electing Elon. I don't think Elon was elected. And whether, by the way, whether he has the most altruistic intentions or not, the gameplay is still the same gameplay that he walked into Twitter with, which is, I'm pretty sure I know everything that's going on. Let's fire everybody. And now here's a prop, and I'm going to just shout out, this is the chainsaw to cut through bureaucracy chainsaw. It's the same play, which is wild because the Twitter play didn't feel like the play.
Chainsaw!
He's a kid with a toy. That's like if you give your son a chainsaw.
He would say these exact same. He wouldn't say bureaucracy, chainsaw! But he would start saying everything. He'd go, chainsaw! No! That's what he would say, yes.
Chainsaw for bureaucracy! Chainsaw!
That's perfect.
He's pretending it's on.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right.
Did he call him Mr. President?
That's the president of Argentina.
Oh! I thought he was. I thought he was shouting out. I thought he was shouting out Elon and saying, "Mr. President, thank you so much." I love that. And then he starts. And then he starts like he's just got to hold it. So he starts pretending it's on. Like he starts going like making motions as if he's Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And then he just kind of. Well, I guess I'll just hold this for a while.
Guess this is mine.
And, like, I don't even think he should think chainsaws are that cool. Don't forget, he is the one that came out with the commercially available flamethrower. That flamethrower was awesome.
That's right.
That was when everybody loved Elon. That was before he got all political. When it was like, yeah, we can just like Elon because he does Teslas and flamethrowers. What's not to like about that? All his Teslas have these big iPads on the front, and he makes flamethrowers. This guy rules.
Yeah.
And he makes rocket ships. This guy rules. Then he started talking.
Chainsaw!
Yeah, look, I would love it if there was less bureaucracy. I just feel like firing all the lower level people is probably not where... Bureaucracy generally doesn't start at the lowest levels. I don't know anybody that's ever said, you know why we have so much red tape? It's all these low level employees. Everybody that's making 60 grand or less.
They're the ones we need to get rid of.
You guys have so much bureaucracy. Anyway, let's get rid of all of them and then figure it out.
We'll hire the ones back that we need to.
Yeah, that'll be no problem. That's not, luckily, that's not insulting or dehumanizing.
How do we reach them? I don't know.
I don't know.
We locked their email.
Do you have any kind of a phone book?
Nope.
No. We email them on their corporate email and it's locked. Also, they threw out their BlackBerry in a fury. Number one, because we fired them. And number two, because it's 2025 and we still made them use BlackBerries. Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be less bureaucracy. Right now, still feels like bureaucracy and some plane crashes. So, but it's early. It's early in the game still. We're in the third inning, baby. We'll see how it goes. We're going to take a break. We've got a lot to talk about today. So let's get this break out of the way. We'll come back. We'll break down more. We've got more topics to knock out daily. Yeah. Stay right there. We'll be back.
We'll be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back with Sam.
There are some people that were wondering, like, oh, how come when Jim gets when Jim's done, now you finally get video?
How convenient.
How convenient. I'll tell you, I would like to explain the convenience of that. See, sometimes when you lose a very high-profile, important co-host, you go into what is known in the industry as survival mode. And what you do is you come directly out of pocket to get video done for the show.
Oh.
So should there be any question about how is this now possible? Well, ask my accountant how this is now possible. However, with that said, I would appreciate you guys interacting with the videos to try to quell some of the concerns of those checking the Roberts finances.
I thought you just used Jim's budget.
No.
Pushed it all to video.
Unfortunately, no. Somehow, and the weird thing is, somehow the thing with those budgets is they just evaporate. They just disappear. Who knows what happens to them? Well, and Hot Dog, by the way, is doing such a great job, which is great because you want to find an editor that will work for peanuts. And Hot Dog is doing a great job with all this.
I told you this. I'm the illegal immigrant of video editing.
Yeah, I basically found him in a Home Depot parking lot. He's a day laborer. But he's doing a great job with the edits that we're putting on YouTube as well as on the Not Sam and Sam Roberts SXM Instagram accounts. So follow the Sam Roberts SXM Instagram account. And the Not Sam YouTube channel is where all the video from the show is going. But Hot Dog is here because I was reading about this, and there are some concerns. You know, in the streaming world, it's not just about finding talent; it's about finding properties, finding IP, finding stuff that can be capitalized upon. And there's not much left. There's not many really strong properties left that somebody can buy up, the way Disney grabbed Star Wars up and Marvel and all this stuff. But the announcement came down just a couple of days ago that Amazon is seizing creative control of the James Bond franchise, of the intellectual property around James Bond, which means I would imagine that Amazon would now have ownership of the films that have already been made.
They already had.
They had the films.
They have the distribution rights.
Yeah, because once they Amazon bought MGM like 3 or 4 years ago. And that came included with that.
With James Bond.
The only thing that they didn't have was creative control and rights to producing it.
So Hot Dog is, and this is a really weird one for Hot Dog, but it's 100% true. This is something I found out a few years ago. The biggest James Bond fan
Why do you think that's so weird?
that I've ever encountered. It's just every person I've
It's
told that
weird.
to.
What?
It's weird.
They're just like, huh? Like it's like I don't know. James Bond is such like a. It just when you go, I'm really into Final Fantasy. People go like, yeah, I can see
I see that.
When you go like, I'm really into wrestling. Okay, yeah, I could see that. When you go, no, I'm really into James Bond. Like I didn't believe Hot Dog at first, and we were driving back from Montreal. He goes, no, I'm obsessed with James Bond. And I go, you're not obsessed. And
It's a weird one.
I go, you're not obsessed with James Bond. You just want to be interesting. And he goes, bro, I'm obsessed with James Bond. I go, okay, great. And he goes, no, like I know all the words to the Goldfinger song.
I mean, it's amazing soundtracks that they have.
Yeah. You say something like that, and I go, you've never even listened to a soundtrack. And you go, yes, I have. And I go, oh, okay, you loved Goldfinger. And he goes, yeah, I love Goldfinger. I go, fine, sing it. And I mean, from beginning to end, every word. Hot Dog just starts singing the song, and I go, holy shit, you're about this life.
I am about that. It's one of my few passions. Like wrestling, there's Final Fantasy.
And there's James Bond.
Yeah, and Breaking Bad. I got 4.
You're a big Breaking Bad guy. Big Breaking Bad guy.
My heart right
Frames
now. hearing
magazines.
this.
But like the idea, he
The
grew
idea.
up. He grew,
I mean, come on, Shirley Basley.
Never heard that name in my life.
What? The legend.
we were all mourning Roberta Flack in here. We didn't have time for Shirley Basley.
Yeah.
She
I missed
performed
that.
this at the Oscars a couple of years ago.
You like that?
Yeah, you know how excited I. Oh my god! I
Was it like a
texting
tribute to
everybody.
James Bond?
Yeah. it
Yo,
was-
you watching this? You up right now? You watching Channel 2?
Yeah, they had like a big James Bond anniversary, and there was like a big celebration at the Oscars. I don't know how you missed this.
I guess
Bro,
it
that was
escaped me.
12 years ago.
That was
Wasn't it
12 years
a few
ago?
Years
Oh my
ago?
god!
Yeah, you were 28, dude.
Shoot.
So yeah, because like, but that's the thing, right? Like, of course you like Final Fantasy because you grew up playing Final Fantasy. That's the era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course you like wrestling. We all grew up watching wrestling to one extent or the other. Even Breaking Bad. Like, we were all right at that right
Amazon,
age.
not the Amazon, the Netflix. The beginning of like them getting big TV shows on the service
Was the binge of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that fabulous movie that they did.
I still defend it.
El Camino?
To this day.
Well, of course you do. You're very annoying. but the James Bond stuff, like the stuff that you like not just... It's one thing if you were like, yeah, I love James Bond. I love GoldenEye, like we were saying last hour.
Yeah, like the not the deep cuts.
No,
like the
no.
basic.
Like the people who got GoldenEye for a Nintendo 64
and then watched the movie
and are going like, yeah, Pierce Brosnan is the best James Bond ever.
Right, yeah.
You know, because they liked him in Mrs. Doubtfire and the Run by Fruiting.
You're surprised that I actually
No, like you have straight up real opinions. Like you go back to Connery, you go back everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Like to the point where like one year for Christmas I got Hot Dog. I just went on Amazon.
He got me all the books.
All the James
and
Bond books.
two hardcover James Bond behind the scene photo albums. And I
he was
have
like-
one at home and one in the office.
See? He's like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever.
And I have the James Bond one, the Goldfinger book that you gave me. So the first thing that people see when they come to my desk is that book. And I keep hoping that people like open it and no one knows it.
No one opens it.
I open it from time to time during the middle of the day.
No one's ever been like, oh man, do you mind if I check this out?
Right, no, it's a great book.
You a Bondhead? So Amazon sees in creative control now puts them in a position to not only distribute the films, but to now take the franchise and go with it where they want to go. Who had creative control of the franchise before Amazon?
It was the Broccoli family. They've had.
I think it's broccoli.
No, it's not the broccoli.
Broccoli.
Yeah.
They've had control of the franchise since like the
Barbara Broccoli.
Yeah, Broccoli. yeah.
Can you imagine going to school with the name Barbara Broccoli? And she's like, my family owns James Bond. And it's like, big deal, bitch, your name Broccoli.
So they've had control over the series since the inception, since like 1962.
Wow.
Her dad was Albert Broccoli, and
Broccoli.
Yeah, and he was the producer who bought the book rights to it.
Do you know how many times Al Broccoli was like, I'm Al Broccoli? And they're like, people are just side-eyeing him.
I don't think so.
You're not.
No, you're not.
They call him Cubby around these parts, but that was his nickname.
That was his name, Cubby?
Yeah.
Cubby Brox?
Yeah.
I'm Sam Roberts. Your name is not Roberts.
But 60 years plus.
60 years they've had it in the family.
In the family.
Which is nuts for a franchise this size, for an IP this size, to not be owned by a studio. The fact that they've are all the James Bond movie MGM movies?
Well, no, they like the distributors have floated around.
Yes, because it's kind of like Friday the 13th in the sense that like it's not neat, right? Like in the sense that like different distribution companies have put out different movies, and
Yeah,
it's not like
some have closed down. Like United Artists used to be the distributor before MGM.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's been their baby for 60 years.
or like the Halloween franchise, probably more appropriate, where there's not one specific timeline that necessarily runs.
Right, yeah, but it's like it's still tight, but like the broadness of it, it's like, okay, like this was the United
I mean,
Artists.
there's like 9 different James Bonds.
6
Okay,
over 60 years. I mean,
yeah, but it can't all be the same dude. Like, you can't all tell me that's the same James Bond. Isn't there one of the fan theories that James Bond is a title that's given out to different agents, and these are all different?
If you ignore certain movies, that theory is a good theory. Like I used to love that theory, but then you watch like one, like you watch the Daniel Craig ones where it's like, oh no, like he was born, like this is his birth name and he died, and they gave him like too much of a backstory where now it's like he is definitely James Bond.
But isn't that a theory that like if they wanted to, they could just make true?
Like retcon it.
Yeah.
Like the
no, we were lying about Daniel Craig.
like the Stu is alive theory in Scream.
Exactly.
Like clearly he's not. It wouldn't make any sense because how could Nev Campbell not have found out that this dude's been alive for 30 years?
And it makes sense that James Bond is a code name because anytime he goes into any operation, he just yells his name out, and he's a spy.
Right. Plus, it's a real cool name.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you said your last name first. Like, you really wanted us to remember your name.
If I could get away with that without...
Get away with what?
My name is Dog. Hot Dog.
Get away with what? Changing your name to James Bond?
No, to say my last name first.
Marte. Cheyenne. Wait, what's your first? It's Cheyenne. It's Cheyenne.
Don't worry about that. It's
like the beaches of Cheyenne. No.
The closest I get to is when I go to like for a reservation at a restaurant. I just go last name Marte, but I know I can't say.
Shay.
I can't say Shay.
Shay.
And then they have to ask me, Cheyenne? Yes.
He has like I want to be James Bond in his head all day, every day.
Do you ever walk around like even in your apartment going like, let me walk around as if I'm James Bond for a couple minutes?
Sometimes I walk around and go.
Right. Like we all grew up, like every now and then you're walking down the stairs and you got to do the Scott Hall strut.
Sure.
Like where you throw your arms out.
I do both.
Sure. Sometimes you hit him with a James Bond.
Yeah, I got to hit the roommates with a James Bond.
No, that's great. Oh, they like it. The roommates.
No, they don't. No. I drag them out to every release and they're like, I mean, it's okay. I'm like,
well, yeah, because they're like 30.
Yeah,
like, why do you like this 80-year-old franchise?
Yeah, this is
because it changes.
Right.
It's with the times.
It's timeless.
Do you like James Bond?
No, I know nothing about it.
But you get it. There are franchises that
Doctor Who.
He's an English gentleman.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Doctor Who, but I'm sure. Yeah.
Shout out to Doctor Who, though.
Shout out.
Right. So, how are you feeling that Amazon now has kind of picked this up and gone like, okay, now we're going to make these bullshit
Not
movies?
good.
No, really?
Well, the whole thing you just mentioned, all these streaming services buying everything up and Disney buying everything up.
Right.
Now it's going to be we need a James Bond prequel, and we need a side a side character to have his own spin-off. And
You don't want to see a spinoff of that guy who throws his shoes? Who throws a shoe? Honestly,
Maybe a TV show.
What about that?
Maybe a couple TV shows.
We're gonna have the Odd Job TV show.
I would see an Odd Job show.
With the guy that throws the hat.
Yeah.
And just cuts it in half.
All of his odd jobs.
Yeah. What else? Why do they call him Odd Job? Well, I used to be a shoe salesman.
No, I'm not looking forward to it.
I mean, there already have been spinoffs. Like, I remember specifically growing up, there was a cartoon called James Bond Jr.
Was it really?
You never heard about this?
No.
There was an action figure line. There was the whole thing. There was the theme song, James Bond Jr.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I looked that up.
Oh, yeah. It was on.
He doesn't believe you.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it tonight.
I would know.
Look at this.
Oh.
Why? By the way, I just out
this is
James
like-
Bond trivia'd you. 91 to 92, it had a hell of a run.
Oh, okay, one season.
I bet they squeezed in a couple seasons. It's probably one of those that squeezed in a couple seasons per year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's good reason why I never heard of
65
Oh, yeah.
episodes.
Hit him with, 65 episodes in 1 year?
Yeah.
I mean, that's back then when they had
They were just
Monday
knocking
to
them
Friday.
out. Yeah, that's what it was. It was one of those like after school shows.
Yeah.
Hit him with the intro. Watch this. You'll love this.
Okay.
You like this?
Okay.
James Bond Jr.
But why Junior?
What? He's a kid. Why Junior?
Scum always tries. This rules.
Is that He-Man?
This is.
See, it's kind of like one of the James Bond songs.
Yeah, and like the animation is very He-Man, very Captain Planet.
Yeah, very G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Very 91, 92.
I'm sure if I was a kid, I would have fucking loved it.
Yeah.
If I knew about it. But I was too busy watching like Goldfinger from My Show with Love when I was a kid.
That intro rules.
It's a great intro.
That was a great intro.
See, so what I don't want is for Amazon.
Nah, it's no Shirley Basley, but
I forgot about Shirley Basley for a sec.
What if Amazon brings back James Bond Jr.?
That's what I'm saying. I don't want,
oh my God.
I don't want people to go, when they're doing all this bullshit. They're doing this thing called James Bond Jr. Because I'm going to be, no, that's an OG.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just paying homage.
Right. Well, they got to do James Bond Jr. because it's for the children. Like, no kid wants to see Sean Connery animated running around. Like, that would be like an SNL cartoon.
They'll probably bring Sean Connery back from the dead.
You think so? AI?
Some CGI shit like Star Wars.
Would you be happy if they AI'd Sean Connery?
I feel conflicted.
Oh, yeah.
What do you see? You already. I feel like you.
Yeah, he's gonna turn on a dime.
What are you worried? What are you worried about them doing? Like, some of the Star Wars stuff has been good that Disney's done.
Some of it.
They put Sasha Banks on that show.
Well, it's oversaturation. It's like every I can't even.
It's a lot of Star Wars. What's a lot of Marvel? I mean, does anybody give a shit?
What about Boba Fett and the Family?
I heard that's good.
People love that show.
Yeah.
What, the Boba Fett show?
Boba Fett and the Family. It's the Mandalorian.
Oh, the Mandalorian rules.
People love the Mandalorian.
And then Obi-Wan got a spin-off and it was trash.
People didn't like Obi-Wan.
And it's canon. Well, okay, yeah, maybe
it was fine.
People online go, it's either great or trash. But
you pay for that Red Bull?
Those are
anyway. No. There were plenty of people that said it was trash. That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
And then they're gonna make Bond a black gay woman or something.
I didn't know I didn't know that you were raging against the woke agenda today.
I don't.
What do you think? Just because they threw Joy Reid off the air, you could say whatever you want?
She's free now. So
you think she's gonna be the new James Bond?
Yeah, you never know.
You think they're gonna make Joy Reid the next James Bond?
You're afraid that they're gonna make. That's your fear?
That's not my biggest fear.
Do you think?
I think that they should make James Bond a black gay woman.
Do you think Hot Dog believes that James Bond should always be white?
I do.
It should always be. It should always be
Megyn Kelly with Santa.
I mean, doesn't everybody really want?
Wait.
Go ahead.
A year ago, you said, you know who the new James Bond should be?
Idris Elba. Is that?
I was just gonna say that. Isn't that what everybody wants?
No, I mean, look, if it's a really good black British actor, then yes.
Wait, but it says that this happened in 2021.
What? No, the MGM purchase was in 2021, but
the distribution, not the creative control.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying the
James Bond Jr.
Lashana Lynch, the black British actress.
Oh no, that was like there was a controversy. Yeah. She was in the movie. She was 007, but that's only because James Bond retired and they got a new 007. That doesn't count.
Why doesn't it count?
Because she's not James Bond. She's just
James Bond.
007.
Yeah,
but isn't 007 the code name?
No, 007 is like the position you have. Like they have a 006 in GoldenEye.
I don't know.
It's like COVID 19, COVID 18, COVID 7.
Right? Yeah. And at any time, a spy is assigned that number.
You want to hear something that's going to blow your mind?
What?
I've never seen a James Bond movie.
Get the fuck out!
Not a single one.
What?
Whoa! Not even a Daniel Craig one?
Not even
Daniel
Skyfall?
Craig. None.
Skyfall is like the third highest
Not
grossing
a single
film.
one. As far as I know, GoldenEye was just the first time.
Did you
James
hear what he
Bond.
just said? How have you not seen Skyfall? It's the third highest grossing film.
I mean, of all time, it was when it came out. When it came out.
Oh, I thought you meant the third highest grossing James Bond movie.
And not because I don't want to, but just never seen him.
What?
Never got around to it.
So, like, he's a British guy in a tux. He's going to win.
Yeah. What do I need to
If
see
you
this
like,
for?
all right. So there's
I saw Mrs. Doubtfire.
There's no.
I got
Run
it.
by
No.
Fruiting.
Yeah, I got it.
There's different eras, obviously.
He was
If you're-
James Bond and Mrs. Doubtfire, right?
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan. That was the first. Technically, that's canon.
No, it's not.
And we figured out what his fatal flaw, how to beat James Bond.
Hitting him with a lime.
Yep.
At the pool.
Yep.
Oh no!
And then if that doesn't
that's
work?
right. He's got the allergy.
Yep.
He's got the allergy. Remember
Spices.
Robin Williams put on a dress and put pepper on his food.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was the first Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie.
Yeah.
It was not.
So technically,
Go.
technically, when you look at all the James Bond babes, is that what you call them? James Bond babes, like all
Bond girls.
The Bond girls. Sally Field does count as a Bond girl.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
93
It's not canon.
How do you not know what we're talking
It
about?
makes so
Because
much
it's not
sense.
It
canon.
does. 93 Sally Field is
Yeah.
a Bond girl. Can you imagine losing your wife to James Bond? No wonder Robin Williams was
And
ready.
your wife is Sally Field.
I mean, I'd be furious.
Yeah.
I'd be furious. And you're just trying to throw a party where you're listening to House of Pain.
It's a good time.
If I could recommend, Travis.
You don't have to recommend. I'm not against seeing them.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's just something I've never gotten
Start
into.
with Mrs. Doubtfire.
Well, no. It's the eras. There's different eras. There's the Daniel Craig era, which is like very much a ripoff of like Jason Bourne. So that's like serious.
I've seen Jason Bourne. So I
Well,
kinda
then
get
you
it.
like Daniel Craig.
No, I get it.
Then you got the Roger Moore era,
I'm
which
just
is
gonna
like
rewatch the Bourne
slapstick,
Ultimatum.
just like James Bond wearing wigs and doing funny comedy. Yeah. And then
You
got
don't
the-
like that so much.
Too
silly.
I hated it when
Right.
I was a kid, and I've grown to appreciate it because I did a watch of like the entire franchise like last year.
Smart.
And I was like,
How many are there? Like
I'd
30?
say there's 25.
25. So we're going to go ahead and give this 50, 60 hours and watch.
All right, there's
them all.
25.
Yeah.
How many are actually?
Well,
worth
how long
watching?
did it? How long did it take you to watch all 25?
Couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't a marathon, but it's just like every day.
That's a pretty
25 in a
Honestly,
couple weeks. That's a marathon.
25 James Bond movies in 2 weeks is a pretty heavy sprint.
Yeah.
And I went in order.
I'm assuming you don't have anything else to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I nap a lot, so I just took some of my nap hours and I gave it to
When
that.
was this? Like
Last year. Yeah, it wasn't COVID or anything.
It was not COVID.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Right? Yeah. No.
This was last year.
That was We Outside.
This might have been during the summer, actually.
Okay, so Roger Moore, you've grown to appreciate. Mrs. Doubtfire, you love.
Sean Connery, you would say is the GOAT. Maybe.
I mean, it's the foundation, right?
Yeah. I kind of like. I was raised on Pierce Brosnan, and I really, really like Daniel Craig. I think objectively speaking, like
So you like Daniel Craig and
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan.
Am I saying his name wrong?
Nope.
Whatever. But
I'm the biggest James Bond fan.
okay, I mean, like I'm not the biggest fan of all the actors, but
Right, yeah. Who was that guy who played Sally Field's new boyfriend in Mrs. Doubtfire?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, that's right.
Okay, well, you guys are assholes for not telling me how to actually say it.
Okay. Who was that guy who was James Bond on the cover of the GoldenEye video game? What was the actor?
Pierce Brosnan.
He thinks it's the first name.
He's trying to figure out what he can correct. But he just said, by the way, he just said it slowly.
Brosnan.
Said it the same way, just more slowly. No, I get it.
It's like the guy spelling the Ready Eagles. R-E-A-D-Y-E-A-G-L.
I'll look
Yeah,
that
he's
up.
Russian at the end.
I'll look that up after.
No,
the
you
show.
got it.
No, you got it. You don't even need to look it up. Just keep doing that for the rest of your life.
No, this is
Those are your nostalgic, like, this is who I grew up on. This is what made me fall in love with the franchise.
Yeah, I grew up. Well, yeah, Sean Connery, Roger Moore. I grew up with those because my dad used to watch it, and that used to be the only thing we used to watch at all together. And I hated Roger Moore. I loved Sean Connery.
Well, Sean Connery's a pimp.
He's
the man.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah.
And
I
he'll,
even
I think he'll
liked him.
smack a bitch if he has to.
Yeah, that's right. They would do that in the old James
Yeah.
Bond. Yeah. I even liked him in Finding Forrester. That's how much I liked him as James Bond. You're the man now, dog. Okay, so
What about Timothy Dalton?
Timothy
I think
Dalton?
he had one movie. No, he had two movies. That's a lie. He's one of those. He's the one actor that a lot of people in the James Bond universe don't. They think he wasn't appreciated because everyone wanted Pierce Brosnan at the time.
Even in '86,
They didn't want Pierce Brosnan in 1986.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
Wait, how old was
yes, they
Pierce?
did.
Was Pierce Brosnan even acting in 1986?
He was the favorite after Roger Moore, and he didn't take the role. He only took it after.
I guess he was 33.
Yeah, no, he was the heavy
What was
favorite.
What was his IMDb pre Mrs. Doubtfire? I was pretty sure.
I thought that was.
I was pretty sure when Mrs. Doubtfire came out, they said, and introducing Pierce Brosnan.
Let me see.
Yeah, if you look it up, Roger Moore.
Was he like a soap actor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And so was Daniel Craig. He was a soap actor.
But he was like an actor before James Bond, no?
He had like a couple of movies here and there, but
Right.
he was mostly known for soap.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe you. I'm not.
So when
He did. Pierce Brosnan was in Remington Steele.
That's sick.
that is the
100
movie that
episodes.
made
That's
This is a
them
TV show.
want him as James Bond.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
That was from 82 to 87, so that would check out because it was huge.
Yep. Okay.
And they wanted him.
Don't question.
Yeah, come on. Don't
question Hot Dog on his James Bond knowledge. I mean, this guy knows Pierce Brosnan back and forth.
Better than anyone.
Yep.
And then Mrs. Doubtfire was 93, and that began.
Was he in Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yeah, that began his time as James Bond.
He probably said, "No, I can't take this position yet because I have Mrs. Doubtfire coming up.
We have to do the prequel."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire was 93, and then GoldenEye was 95.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like,
So
we'll introduce your character in 93.
And then it's scheduled.
And then we'll do GoldenEye.
But Mrs. Doubtfire was a massive movie in 93. Like, when he started as James Bond, it really was in 95 people going like, Run by Fruiting from Mrs. Doubtfire.
The guy from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Is doing James Bond, but it was perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane that 10 years later, when they really wanted him, they still got him, and he was still like...
He was the man.
Everyone was still like, yeah, this is still
He's
the guy
even
we want.
better. Yeah.
He's classically handsome.
He's a super handsome guy.
Still,
He's
I mean,
still a handsome guy.
You saw, what was that, November Man? Or that when he was basically like old man James Bond?
I didn't see that.
What the hell are you talking
I mean, by the way, the whole genre of like old guy who's actually really good at fighting because John Wick did well, I'm done with it.
Is John Wick supposed to be old?
I mean, Keanu Reeves is 50 years old. You know, he was,
but
he was retired.
Like
and then he
normal
came
man
back
that's
into
supposed
it.
to be...
I more mean like, I capped it at the Bob Odenkirk movie.
Nobody?
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was fine.
But I'm not going and seeing Data from the Goonies beat everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
No, and I think there's another one that
he's like us. He looks like us, but he could kill people.
No. Give me another John Wick.
Escapism.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. No. It's the same movie over and over and over again.
John Wick is an assassin.
John Wick fucking rules.
Yeah.
You killed John Wick's dog.
You know what you've done.
You like John Wick?
Yeah.
John Wick, I mean, that's
John Wick's better than James Bond.
If look, I'm not going to fall for that
Sorry,
troll
Mike,
bait.
I'm putting you back on hold.
If I had to guess, because every single time that a new James Bond comes out, they tailor it to whatever's hot at the time. The next James Bond is probably going to be a lot closer to John Wick.
Right.
You think James Bond is going to go to the Continental?
And they'll be like, like how they copied Jason Bourne.
They get Lawrence Fishburne in to go, Mr. Bond!
I mean, the Continental is just MI6. You got Q and you got M.
Nobody knows what MI6 is. Oh! Guess what? They wanted Pierce Brosnan first before Timothy Dalton, but Pierce Brosnan was committed already to Remington Steele. Confirmation
from?
I forgot the other person in my life who is a massive James Bond fan, Club Soda Kenny.
What? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Kenny
Kenny loves James Bond. He just texted because he's listening to our James Bond. That's awesome.
Loves him more than
bonded
you.
all these years.
Because he knows how to say someone's name.
No, Hot Dog's nailing it.
You think so?
Yep.
Okay.
Mike in New York. What's up, Mike?
Right, I forgot Kenny loves
Hey, Cheyenne Super Nerd. It's
Yes.
Shirley Bassey.
It's
You're
Baisley. I've heard it a million times. People say Baisley. I mean, maybe you can say it both ways.
I love when people mispronounce things and go, I think you can say it both ways.
I think you're wrong about
Look,
this.
I don't know, obviously. None of us in here know who this human being is, so...
There's no way you don't know who this is. What are you
I read
there
that
is no
as-
L. There is no L.
You said Basley.
I stand corrected. Look, I'm not the best with names. I know my facts. I know the time periods, but I'm not here
Didn't
saying...
Bosley do hair systems?
Yeah,
That's
Bosley for men. Yeah.
You've probably been looking up Bosley and got it confused.
Still thinning out.
Danielle, did you know one time I told Hot Dog he had a thinning hairline, and then he denied it? He said, no, you're just hating. I don't have a thinning hairline. And then he went to a barber shop, and without asking, they gave him hairline restoration.
Do you know what hairline restoration is?
Oh, yeah.
The process of it. Like
It's airbrush.
No, it wasn't like they put in... Yeah, no. They painted it in.
You give me a few minutes, I'll find that.
Yeah. And guess what?
tough.
If you got a hairline, trust me, I know. I had to learn the hard way. If you got a hairline, they don't give you that.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
reason for it, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
I think it's because I'm wearing too many hats, and it's probably like
Nope, you're just getting
forcing
older.
it down.
Nope,
and-
You're just an old guy.
just getting older.
Yeah,
That's all that
last
is.
time I went to get a haircut with a new barber, I saw him pulling out that gun. And I was like, no, we don't need that.
He was pulling it out?
He was pulling it out. I was like, no.
I love, by the way, that you go to these barber shops that, like, they're just going to give you this extra, and they're going
They
to
don't
charge
ask,
you for
yeah.
it. Yeah. That's a good business model. But so, like, really, like, you're unhappy that Amazon took over the license, and I've seen there were fans that were tweeting like "R.I.P. James Bond."
Yeah,
like
there was an emergency podcast in the James Bond community.
Trust me
on YouTube.
When I tell you something, Nobody puts out an emergency podcast if it's not a legitimate emergency. I didn't realize we were in emergency podcast territory because
Right.
if there's one thing on this planet that I take seriously, it's an emergency podcast.
Well, you know, because there's a siren.
There's a siren, and you have to do an emergency podcast right then.
I mean, if has there been banger after banger after banger in the last 60 years? No. There have been some duds. You could even say in the last 10 years there's been like a dud or two. But there's still like a charm to it. Like there's still like, it's like,
are you saying that the overexposure will cause it to just be stretched so thin that it's almost like somebody like you who wants to follow the whole universe except James Bond Jr. but wants to follow, but I'll give you that because technically that's his kid.
That's not canon.
Well, technically he has a kid and it's James Bond Jr. and that is canon as far as I'm concerned. But fine, it's not canon. But that's more my point. That you are a fan of James Bond canon. And so now you...
Oh. I forgot it was a video.
Do you hear that awkward giggling?
Danielle, you see this part?
Danielle feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, is that not?
No, that's not real.
It's not hair.
You see that laugh, that smile? It's a nervous. Oh, I'm on
Look
camera.
at that. It's so natural.
Wait, I'm so confused. Did they like do it and then you had to pay for it? Like,
Yeah, they did.
Just did it.
like they didn't ask?
No, they just go because usually when you go to the Dominican barbershop, they just kind of got you. It's like, yeah, we got you. We know what you need.
Yeah, but how about this, Danielle? Even worse. Not only did they do it without asking and charge him for it, then they were like, "I'm going to put you on our Instagram account
because you look so fresh."
Because you look so fresh, and that's why Hot Talk is going. Oh no, because you know what this face is? This is a face of a man who goes, "This is hitting the Sam and Travis group chat immediately. This is going to be bad news." He's thinking about the Sam and Travis group chat right now. Travis, can you get some of the? I don't want to just enjoy this for ourselves. Make sure this goes up on our Twitter. Or
You know what?
Instagram.
That's a great.
Put it up on
Every
our
time
stories.
you post
maybe.
this, the guy hits me up and he goes like, "Who are these people commenting?"
Yeah, maybe just if you could just click this video and add it to our stories. Can you do that?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, yeah, this will be on Sam Roberts SXM Instagram account if you want to enjoy it, because it's not fair for us to just laugh.
I went straight home and I just rubbed it off because you could rub it off. You could just go in the shower and just rub it.
When you
straight
say
off.
rub it straight off, you did some scrubbing.
I scrubbed it off.
How long is it supposed to last?
Maybe a week, I'm guessing.
But you're not supposed to wash your hair, right?
No, I know. Yeah, or if you could wash your hair, but it'll stay because I had to scrub that thing off.
Yeah, no, he was using like what's that, like iron steel wool. He was using steel wool to get it off his forehead.
So what's the end game for guys who get this with intent?
To pick up chicks.
But you have to do it like
Yeah, you have to do it like
do it, like,
almost
every
every
week?
week.
Well, I mean,
yeah, sure, every week, every 2 weeks.
But a lot of people, I mean, you know, when you go to a Dominican barber, going every week or two and getting freshened up is not.
It's part of the culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, how much does something like that cost if he does it without?
Okay, well, all right. So technically,
Danielle, you asked an embarrassing question. We're supposed to be about
Is it
James
embarrassing?
Bond.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You know what? You asked it though, so you should answer it. Hot
Well,
Talk.
technically, I pay because of Travis. I paid $30 for a haircut because I was overpaying.
That's right.
So I forgot to mention this is my cousin.
Wasn't your mind blown when I told you you're not supposed to tip 100%?
Well, it wasn't that necessarily. It was just I was this was it, like after COVID when I lost my barber because people moved around and I was
He died from COVID.
yeah, I'm still alive.
He
But I
died.
was looking, I was
It
in
was
the
either
wild.
COVID or the vaccine. We're still trying to figure it out.
So my cousin's like, "Hey, just come up to the Bronx and I got you. Don't worry, I'll hook you up." And I was like, "All right, I'll give you."
You
a
drove
try."
to the Bronx for this? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a whole fucking trip. I had to take the 6 train. It was like some weird fucking building that is not a barbershop.
I mean, the Bronx is Westchester Light. The Bronx is far.
Yeah. And then he's giving me this cut. And he's like, "Yeah, like my clients, they pay me like $100, $70, $80.
Oh my!
But like I got you, home. Like you don't got to do that."
He was hustling you.
I didn't have to.
You have a real. Can I tell you something? And I hope you're not offended.
Uh-huh.
You have a real dirtbag family.
I do. No, I won't deny it. But I could have very easily said no and given him like $50 and he wouldn't fine. But I was like,
Yeah, but
all right.
you would have texted somebody. You would have texted your aunt or something like that.
I was like, you need this more
¿Qué
than
pasa
me.
con Chayanne?
You just had a kid. You need this more than me. And thank you for the restoration. Here's $100. I will never come back again. But it was like here's $100. I will never come back again. Was the idea of it. I didn't say it out loud, obviously, but
$100 and you showered it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he still lined me up, but
do you think that's $100 haircut?
Oh,
he did it with
you
Sharpie.
did that at home.
I mean, for me, it's like maybe my hair is at 100.
And also, you're a
that's
girl,
super
so you pay
expensive.
like $200, $300.
No, what?
Or
No, it's
I don't
like 80 average, but that's long hair.
Yeah. You got
So
a lot
to
of
me,
hair.
It's short. Like I don't know. I would think like 50 max.
Plus, there are unfair beauty expectations on
Yeah.
men and women.
Right? Yeah.
It's like you're not coming out of there going like, oh my God, hot dog, you're so beautiful. Oh wow,
And then it gives you
is that fresh ink on your forehead? You should tattoo it on.
I mean, you've seen photos of people who just take it to the extreme.
I love it.
And
It's my
like
favorite
they're,
thing.
Like they're balding way more, and they just spray the entire.
And then
thing
they do
on.
the beard too.
Yeah, they spray on the beard.
Because they got the patchy beards. They're like, what if we just paint the beard?
Yeah,
on?
like I don't want people to think that I'm delusional enough. I want people to know that I know what this is.
Right.
I'm not trying to hide it or anything.
No, that's my favorite thing. I also like people who get like the Turkish hair transplants on their cheeks because they get the patchy beard, and I'm like, dude, you're going too far with this. Oh, yeah.
Not my brightest. You guys have a lot of embarrassing photos of me.
I mean, you do a lot of embarrassing things.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have to try.
Yeah,
good one.
You know?
Your digital footprint is out there.
Yeah, it's
immaculate.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. Immaculate's that word means a different thing, I think.
Right? Like,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I mean, for us, I guess.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
perfect.
For
yeah.
you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want a James Bond series from Amazon?
Even if it's good, I'd rather it not exist.
Why?
Even if it's good?
Yeah, because
Like if it- well,
there's
you
something
start-
special about like a James Bond movie coming out. It's an event. It comes out once every 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's you get there, you can discuss it, and then it's
With
done
who?
with all the Bond heads online. What are you talking about?
Thought I made
The
that
James
term
Bond
up.
universe.
Do you discuss James Bond? Do your theories?
Yeah, I'm on Reddit. I'm on the YouTube fan channels. I'm on all that.
You did
shit.
know about the Emergency podcast.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it.
Is it a good pod?
Yeah.
It's better than mine?
I mean, two different things.
Okay,
It's the emergency wrestling podcast equivalent. So it's
I mean,
amazing.
They're as good at James Bond as I am at wrestling?
Oh yeah, and the guy cosplays. He dresses up
that
as
sounds
James
sick.
Bond. Yeah,
That sounds like a hell of a podcast.
yeah. We talk about like favorite James Bond travel destination.
I thought I was watching a James Bond podcast the other day, but it turns out it was just Review Bra. He kind of dresses like James Bond too.
Is it James Bond and Friends?
No.
The 007 files?
Go straight to YouTube and just type in
License to
a James Bond
Podcast?
experience.
License to podcast is a good one.
I want to say it's a James Bond experience.
How do you not know?
He's just
The
clicking.
Bond experience?
Yes, Bond experience. There
Bond
we go.
experience.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to Italy because
where are you going?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he has the memorabilia in the back. Sometimes you talk about your favorite James Bond wardrobe from this movie.
This guy looks like a successful human being.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's hosting this podcast.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if that's equal to.
Well, he seems to have an army behind him of people.
Right, that's true.
Of Bond heads.
That's true. I mean, 80K subscribers. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of views is he getting on
This is
this?
the 1,000th episode. It's got 7,000 views.
I'm not mad at 7,500 views for a niche sort of.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
And when
You
it's
got
an
a bunch of hot
emergency,
dogs listening?
yeah, what?
I said when you got a bunch of hot dogs listening?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I don't know how it is that I can't. Like, none of you guys have watched a James Bond movie. You've watched a James Bond movie.
I've watched. I've definitely watched at least a couple of Daniel Craig ones. I feel like I watched a Pierce Brosnan one at some point.
That was probably Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Mrs. Doubtfire. I've seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
I mean, again, it was like Skyfall was like the third highest grossing movie of all time. And how-
Skyfall. I definitely saw Skyfall.
yeah, and to like there
Adele sang
are
that
a
song,
lot
right?
of us around.
Adele sang
A
that
lot
song?
of us.
Adele song that, yeah.
Where does that song go?
Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall through it all together at Skyfall. Because Skyfall.
That was really nice. That was really, really nice. Especially when you hit that high note.
Early in the morning.
You fucking nailed it, dude.
By the way, at the time of its release, it was the 7th highest grossing film of all time.
Third,
Not
seventh.
third.
It was top 10. Though.
Potato.
It was
Top 10. We'll
Well,
take top 10.
Not potato. It's more like potato yam. But still, are those whose little shorts are those he's got in the background?
I'm sure there was probably an auction. He's got Roger Moore shorts or something like that.
I love that. I love that this guy is doing something where he's making all kinds of cash and he's spending it on James Bond memorabilia. Good for him. I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I watch this obviously, and then I go, oh, you know what? I should get like the bathing suit that Roger Moore had in Goldfinger. You
definitely should.
And I look it up.
Thing like a mask.
Yeah. How much is it?
Way too much for me. I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll save up for it though.
So
and my dream.
Yeah.
Is to go to where
you want this?
Yes, that one.
Short shorts.
Yes.
Bro, you should absolutely.
Oh, that's a what do they call those? Like it's not a jumper. It's like a
romper.
A romper.
Yeah.
You want the James Bond romper?
Yeah, from the '60s. I mean, he carries it so well.
Settle down.
I'm going to tell you something, hot dog. Oof, Christmas is going to be a wild one this year.
Oh yeah.
Do you think I need to get Hot Dog a romper this year?
Yeah.
I got him a PlayStation one. You think if I got him a romper instead of a PlayStation, he'd be equally happy?
Oh, they call it a onesie.
If I got you a Goldfinger onesie, obviously not screen used, but like just one that you.
Oh my!
Would you rock that shit?
Fuck it! I'd rock it in studio that same day.
Like a Wish onesie.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. Let me write this down.
Temu onesie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, but yeah, my dream is to go to where the author wrote all the James Bond novels in Jamaica. I forgot the exact name of the spot in Jamaica, but if you look it up at Airbnb, it's like $10,000 for a weekend stay.
Wow. He wrote it. One guy wrote every single James Bond book?
Yeah.
But they've made up movies after that.
Well, I mean, there have been novels after he passed, but yeah,
he didn't write those. Was he a
Fleming
ghost?
Villa?
Yeah.
He's not a ghost. He didn't write the ones after he passed.
I mean, other people have, like, there have been other novels written by other people after he passed.
But then why did you say yes? The answer is no.
I mean, because
I said he wrote all the books. You said yes. Well, except the ones from after he died. So no is the answer.
Oh, GoldenEye Villa. Yeah. I looked it up the price. I can't afford that yet, but
you looked it up the price.
I looked it up the price.
So
I'm glad you looked
he
it
can't
up.
control him. He's so excited to talk about James Bond.
Well, yeah, he wants to go to GoldenEye Villa.
Give me a year or two, and I'll have the funds.
Yeah, and he just sat there
I
and
mean,
wrote.
just ask for a couple more raises.
He just wrote the same book over and over again, sitting in GoldenEye Villa. But not every movie is based on a book, or yes?
No. But a lot of the movies will loosely take a concept from a book.
Mm-hmm.
So the last one wasn't based on a book. The last one that came out with Daniel Craig. But if you read the books, it's like, oh, they took this part from this book and this part from this book, and they kind of mash it together.
So are there books that they have not made movies of?
Yeah, but it's like maybe like one or two.
But what if Amazon makes those then, or makes them into a series?
Well, why does that have to be a series?
Because we're trying to keep people on the streaming service, bro.
Retention.
Yeah. Trying to keep people here.
I mean, look, if it's like you
do not want a James Bond series in any way, shape, or form.
If it's a banger, like this is so good.
You
Thank
already
God.
said you don't want one, even if it's good.
I mean, I can be swayed, I guess. Like, it has to be.
You mean because you're spineless?
No, because it doesn't. I don't want to. It can't be like a 7 out of 10. Because then I'll be like, this wasn't worth it. It has to be like a 9 out of 10.
You think El Camino is a 9 out of 10?
I never said that. I said it was a great epilogue. If you watch the movie as an epilogue,
I mean, how could it be below a 9 if it's great?
I thought because
8 is not great. If you get an 80% on a test, you're like, I did great.
You graded it on a curve.
What?
You're not watching. Yeah,
I think 8 out of 10 is
great.
Great?
Yeah.
You just throw that word around.
7 is good. I think 7 is good.
I think 8 is very exceptional. Yes, because I would say 7 is good.
So if you got an 80%,
I'm not. No.
You could come home
movies,
and go, hey, Mom and Dad, good news. I did great. And they're like, no, you didn't.
Parents,
you got an 80.
My parents wish I got an 80.
My God.
Well,
my mom wouldn't have left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you just got an 80.
That's all it took.
Anyway, I said this is great.
Yeah.
So you think 8 out of 10 is great?
Yeah. And the epilogue, I
think 8 out of 10 is like exceptional. Like, because at least for me, because like I don't know if I could name a 10 out of 10. So like,
Shining.
If I love a movie, that's a 9.
Yeah, unless you got like a tiger mom, like a helicopter mom or something that is over you and going like 90 is not unacceptable. You need to get 95. Then okay. Yeah, I could see how you get an 80 and want to slit your wrist, but You got an 80. Everyone's rocking an 80 in school. They're happy.
First of all,
it's great.
like,
80 in school rules.
Yeah.
Also, like,
especially since I probably didn't go to the class.
Yeah.
But Hot Dog just said either you do great or you slit your wrists.
What?
Like, what if it's just good, not great?
I also don't think it's just good. I think it is great, and that goes. It's beyond the point.
He was like, "Hey, I did great. No, you got an 80. Kill yourself." Whoa, we have just a switch, huh? It's just a lights, no dial.
You had good parents, Sam. It's different for you. You wouldn't get it.
That's true. That's no. He makes a good point
compared to us.
Well, no. We're not.
Travis had good parents up until the last Nitro.
I mean, she was amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Travis had good parents until the last Nitro.
Then it was like switch flipped.
Right. And the first thing she did as a bad parent was she made him miss the last Nitro.
And that was such a big thing.
It's a huge.
Bro, I got to tell you about after the show. I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah,
it was fucking nuts.
Yeah. That was the best part of the Vince documentary. I was like, when did this happen?
Shane O'Mac
on Nitro. Split screen?
What? I think I'd know. All right. Well, I feel like you are worried for no reason.
No, he's
Do you know? But again,
you think so, Travis?
Absolutely, they're going to milk it dry.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You don't want them to milk it dry.
The reason that they've been at a standstill.
I come from WWE world where they're like, we're going to make the show 4 hours now, and I'm like, cool, more wrestling, great.
Right? Yeah. We're in the third inning. Awesome.
Yeah. Still in the third inning. Nope, we went back to the second. Fuck yeah. I love more innings.
And also, like, another big reason to worry about it is because, like, the reason that there hasn't been a James Bond or even a casting or a pre-production or anything is because there's been like a back and forth between the family and Amazon about whether, like,
and so you're also a little upset that the family who has done right by this brand for so long,
the Broccoli's,
the Broccoli family, lost the back and forth.
Yeah, this wasn't
Amazon won, and now they have to get back into plant-based nutrition.
Right, this wasn't hey, we're gonna retire, we're done. This exit. This was like an ugly back and forth. All right, fuck you, buy us out for $1 billion, and then we'll leave. Exit.
But don't they still own some of it?
No, I think they're.
I think they do.
Or maybe it's like just they get some of the profits.
Yeah,
they don't have any of the control.
Like that, but
the Broccoli's got robbed.
Broccoli Rob. I had a guy in my acapella group.
I knew that was coming.
That was for you.
Thank you.
But it's also how it happened. That's ugly. That makes you believe, okay.
How this happened?
The corporation won.
How this happened.
The corporation won instead of the family. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but don't you think they kind of like also decided like, okay, well, like,
let's just cash out?
Yeah, we can't hold on to it forever.
And maybe they have like, they look at the kids and they're like, and we have idiots for kids. They're never going to.
Idiots for kids. Yeah. You probably want to give them some generational wealth. Like,
there were reports like 6 months ago, a big report that came back. Like, why has there not been any movement in this franchise? And it's like, someone said that I forgot her name. Broccoli was like, these guys at Amazon are fucking idiots. I can't work with them. There was like a lot. It was ugly.
They keep calling me Broccoli.
Yeah. So they're just gonna go in a way that the family doesn't want to go, which is usually the way that it's been for 60 years. And
right.
That's
we're just
not.
Oh, they do. They remain co-owners. Yeah.
Okay.
With no control.
Yeah, they just gave up creative control.
Okay.
Right. So they're just sharing the profits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which honestly, good for them.
I mean, that's a great deal. And they're getting $1 billion on top of that.
Is that how much it's for?
Yeah.
I didn't see any report that it was like or for an amount.
That is funny though. That's the way it always works with these family businesses. There's probably another generation of little Broccolis going like, one day we'll control James Bond. And they're like, no, we sold. We cashed out.
They're all a bunch of Billy Madisons.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's see if Barbara Broccoli has any kids.
Little Broccoli.
She's up there, so I would think so.
No, I know.
I'm not. That doesn't mean that she.
Yeah, what if she doesn't want children?
She just doesn't have the option to have them now. I think probably
she has one child.
Okay,
Angelica Zolo.
Why didn't she keep the Broccoli name?
She's a film producer. Probably got married just to get rid of that name.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of that prestigious name. It's
Broccoli's.
It's kind of weird.
I would hate to have that name.
Broccoli. Remember when Dana Carvey sang about that on SNL? Oh. Well, all right. I'm anxious to see it. I will hope for more James Bond. I say the more James Bond, the better.
The casting will be a first indicator of like, how is this going to go?
I bet they're going to do a prequel series for what's the assistant's name that
Moneypenny? Yeah.
No, not Moneypenny. The one that either like died or turned on him or something. Didn't one of them turn on him?
They all turn on him.
The old lady turned on him.
Oh, M.
M
Yeah.
turned on him, right? M turned to you?
Yeah.
I hope there's a prequel series for M.
Oh, they're going to get to create characters.
Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. What you didn't know is M had a friend.
And then you're gonna watch the movie and be like, "Where's this character from?" It's like, "Oh, you needed to watch the last 2 series he's on Amazon
You know what?
Prime.
You know what? I can't wait for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. version of James Bond.
Oh, there's going to be so many James Bond Bonds.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
Yeah,
oh,
there are.
This is John Bond.
Yeah. I can't wait for 008.
Oh, you know it's coming.
It hurts my soul.
It's gonna be
Like,
great.
It really does.
It's gonna be great. Look, everybody has to deal with it. The Marvel fans are still suffering. A lot of people hate that new Captain America, huh?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're not even going anymore.
No.
Yeah.
This is woke.
No.
I had no idea that you were on such a
No, because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel, and I feel like a lot of people feel this way, that like when Endgame was released,
that's it.
That was the culmination of this incredible, set of
phase
movies.
one.
And then it was like, no, I don't want another phase.
Yeah.
Like, I will go. I saw the third Guardians. I will go see the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But I didn't care about
Even Fantastic
starting
Four seems a
again.
little kitschy for me.
No, Fantastic Four rules, and like it would be great if they actually did a good one.
That's what I mean. You're like Fantastic Four rules. They have never had a good movie.
Well, no, but this is the first time that Marvel is in charge of
Yeah,
doing
it's
it.
Fox.
And I'm hoping that
Fox
with
is
Pedro
terrible.
Pascal and the cousin from The Bear, that it's going to be awesome.
Pedro Pascal is daddy.
Yeah, he can do anything. You see him dancing to Devo at SNL? He was going nuts.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he rules.
All right. Well, thank you, Hot Dog, for providing some clarity
Of course.
on all this Bond.
Anytime
drama.
you guys need to talk about James Bond,
Look at how happy he is.
I'm
Bro,
here.
I texted Travis going like, see if Hot Dog can come in and talk about
Yes,
this James
yep.
Bond. Yeah, he was psyched. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay there.
We will be right back with Sam Roberts Show. We're back with Sam Roberts Show.
Video that he edits so he can hear himself saying Pierce Brosnan over and over and over again.
Why? What was wrong?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing was wrong. And when that singer lady, he was like, oh, I added an L to her name. It's just great. Well, times they are a-changing. We very often talk about how with athletes, there are these marquee names, these household names that everybody knows and grew up with, that if they had been playing in a different era or in the current era, would have made so much more money. But now it's even, I think, bigger than that, because it is wild to think that if Don Mattingly had played baseball in the current era, he could have kept his sideburns, which that was a struggle between him and team management for a very long time.
Over and over and over.
I thought I told you to shave those sideburns. Yeah, I mean, New York is all a flutter with this. The whole sports world, they can have well-groomed beards. It's the style these days. People love having their well-groomed beards. And the Yankees said, we don't want to fall behind the times. Do you have the official statement from the Yankees to make this? I mean, George Steinbrenner would be rolling over in his grave right now. Joe Torre is somewhere just furious. No, Joe Torre's dead too, isn't he?
Torre?
Is he dead?
No.
Is he alive? I thought he had cancer or something.
No.
I think he's still out there drinking Bigelow tea.
Fuck yeah, Joe Torre. Well, then Joe Torre is somewhere very upset with his Bigelow tea.
Hang on, I didn't
have it ready.
No,
that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you're probably just sitting there because you don't understand, Travis. You've been an Orioles fan where they let everybody run amok in that clubhouse. Like, yeah, you could show up with all kind. You could show up with the most offensive mustache that you could think of. You could show up with what's now being called a Kanye mustache, and nobody will say anything about it. But in a Yankees clubhouse, I don't think so. In a Yankees clubhouse, you always had to keep a fresh face. And now they're doing all kinds of photoshops of what some of these Yankees greats would have looked like if they had been able to keep well-groomed beards. I just don't understand the idea of paying that close attention to the aesthetic of your baseball team.
It was really a Steinbrenner thing.
Of course it was. But the fact that it was a Steinbrenner thing, I like how completely hands-on George Steinbrenner was, and maybe it was because they won a lot that I like that, because, I mean, you could say the same thing about stupid Jerry Jones. And he's just running his team into the ground.
Well, he won't even change the blinds.
No. We don't need curtains. Statement from Yankees managing general partner Hal Steinbrenner. Why would you do this to your father, Hal? Why would he do this to his father? Alteration of Yankees facial hair policies. This started as an email and became a graphic. In recent weeks, I have spoken to a large number of former and current Yankees, spanning several eras, to elicit their perspectives on our long-standing facial hair and grooming policy.
By the way, it should never have been this like.
Hal, here's what happened. Team management went, Hal, you take care of the beard thing. We'll handle everything else.
We'll try to fix not getting Juan Soto.
Yeah.
You try to appease everybody with the beards.
What do we do with George's kid? Just put him in charge of beards. I don't know what to do with them. And I appreciate their earnest and varied feedback. These most recent conversations are an extension of ongoing internal dialogue that dates back several years. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you. Hal Steinbrenner was like, I'm here to help. You know, I want to be as much a part of this team as my dad was. And they probably, as a goof, were like, we've been talking about maybe bringing beards back, you know, but that's a dialogue that needs to be had. Why don't you start having that conversation? I want you to have that conversation with current players, with coaches,
you want to run with
legends. If you think you can handle all that, because we can't. We can't take all that on ourselves. But if you, Hal, think you can handle all that, then you handle all that. Like, he didn't realize this was a rib from the beginning. These most recent conversations are an extension of ongoing internal dialogue that dates back several years. Ultimately, the final decision rests with me. And after great consideration... Yeah. No, Hal. This is your call. And after great consideration... we will be amending our expectations to allow our players and uniform personnel to have well-groomed beards moving forward. It is the appropriate time to move beyond the familiar comfort of our former policy. Is that like a Gillette commercial, like a comfortable shave?
I don't know. All I know is that, like, from what I read, this apparently had a lot more to do with them, like, finding out in recent years that there are definitely high caliber players who would pass on joining the Yankees.
No way.
Because
they don't want to shave their beard?
Because they can't be themselves. You know? Like, now...
That's like a Lady Gaga song.
Yeah, but like...
I am my hair.
But like now when there's like...
I mean, you're turning down pinstripes because you want to keep your beard? What the fuck is happening to this sport?
There's plenty of teams that can offer you money.
What about not? But they can't offer you pinstripes. They can't offer you.
Just go to L.A. with the new super team and win a title there.
Okay, you're a hater. You forget.
No, I'm not being a hater. This is
the Yankees. This is the greatest franchise in sports history. This is not just being. There's two steps to this. Okay, when your dream is to play baseball, step one is to play in the major league. Step two is I'm a Yankee.
Not for everybody.
Yeah,
Ken Griffey Jr. said he would have retired before signing with the Yankees.
They didn't ask him to play, so it's easy for him to say. They didn't want him anyway. Plus, he liked that cough syrup too much.
That's right.
That's why they didn't want him.
I forgot about that.
He said there was a party in his mouth and everyone's invited.
He was all doped up.
His head got big. No, Ken Griffey Jr. was never offered a position on the Yankees. So, like, guess what? I'll say this for the record, too. I would never play for the Yankees myself, so don't even try.
Why's that?
Don't even try. At my age right now, I would never play for the Yankees because I like to express myself.
Your father would disown you. That's the reason.
No, that's why. My father would stop talking to me.
But, like, it was a very outdated George Steinbrenner policy.
I mean, of course it was. It never was appropriate.
No.
But if that's true...
I absolutely believe that. There are definitely, especially now that the game is a lot more, like, just players now express themselves more than they used to. Like, you know, a lot of old baseball.
Yeah, they got the custom cleats now.
A lot of baseball purists like hate the bat flip and they hate, you know, the showmanship of these younger players.
They're like Katie Nolan. They're like, what's great about baseball is it's very boring.
And as I kind of agree. I agree with a lot of like baseball purist things, but like, who gives a shit about bat flips? Bat flips are awesome.
Bat flips to rule.
You know, like custom cleats are awesome. Like, just let the players play, and there should be, they should have personalities.
I mean, for me, I think every sport should be more sports entertainment than
If
sports.
someone flips a bat, though, you should be able to put a fastball like right underneath their jaw.
I'd be fine with that
That's
too.
next at bat.
I like that.
We need to keep that.
I think we've gotten too far away from hitting players.
Hitting, like you want to beat them up?
No. I mean, like
with balls.
Yeah, like it used to be like if somebody got hit, you knew that the next inning that pitcher was going to stick up for his players.
Oh yeah,
and
you're
he-
getting one back.
and-
Who
and you're
did
getting
it?
one back, and I'm gonna wait until like one of your best players is up, and I'm gonna throw at his fucking head.
Didn't somebody do it this season?
This season, probably.
I felt like there was one instance that was like really great where it was clearly somebody coming to bat. But like, yeah, I remember when like, you know,
I mean, Roger Clemens and Mike Piazza. It's like the greatest thing in the world.
He threw a bat at him.
He threw a bat at him. He was roided out of his mind.
remember when they tried to nail Henry Rowan Gardner because he kept insisting that the pitcher had a big butt?
You know, I saw a photo of him just last night. I guess he does conventions dressed up as Henry Rowan Gardner.
Oh, that's terrible. That's a horrible thing to hear.
And part of me
grown-ass
is like,
man in a Cubs uniform, you can't.
part of me is like, oh man, I would love that photo. And then the other part of me is like, that's so sad.
Yeah. Like it would. You almost want to take the photo with him and just whisper in his ear, "You suck,
dude. I can't believe you're doing this.
You suck." Yeah. And I love him.
Yeah.
American Pie. Yeah, I mean American
Yeah,
Pie.
I mean one of the all-time greats. You should take a picture as Kevin from American Pie.
Meet Kevin from American Pie. You remember the one that you don't remember? Rob in Oklahoma.
Hey, what's up, guys? I was just going to tell you, the Yankees got Jazz Chisholm in the outfield, and he's a real flashy player.
Nice.
He actually had to go to ownership just to get to wear a flashy belt for the Yankees.
Yeah, like
come on, dude.
The Yankees were very behind the times on this.
Very.
Because they're steeped in tradition.
Yeah, and
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, they're steeped in tradition. And I mean, listen, I think that they want to maintain a certain aura, a certain prestige. They want to, make it so that idea that the Yankees are the most prestigious franchise in all of sports and that it means something different to wear pinstripes. And I think that we are in an era more now than ever of people not caring and just looking at the scoreboard.
Yes. And people are totally fine with going to a different team because this team does not want me to be me. I shouldn't have to conform.
I gotta be me. Like, what are we doing? What are you, an artist all of a sudden? You're an athlete. Shave your beard and put the pinstripes on.
People are tired of being like, well, if I have to like change who I am to be on that team, people don't give a shit anymore. They really don't. Like, there are a lot of players who, yes, would love to be on the Yankees and probably would and have shaved their beards, and that's their dream. But like a lot of these kids, especially the younger kids, they don't give a shit.
The captain never had a beard.
I don't think he can grow a beard.
Well, good for him. He's good at baseball. What difference does that make?
But another thing the Yankees are doing this year, which I don't understand why they've been doing this, is they're going to no longer play New York after losses.
Why?
Because it used to be...
We're celebrating being Yankees fans.
But it used to be like the Yankees win, New York plays.
All right, so I actually just read that they're going to be, if they win New York, if they lose, they're going to play Creep by Radiohead.
Oh.
And they're just going to have
I'm gonna
everybody...
go to all the losses.
Yeah, just walk out in a depressive state.
But like at some point, and I don't know when because I'm not like a Yankee fan, but at some point they just started playing it after every game.
Yeah, people love it.
No, they don't. It loses its meaning. It loses.
Well, you're still in New York.
But like, you listen to them like lose a playoff game, and it's like bump. Like,
yeah, you're like, if there's one thing that I don't want to do right now, it's spread this news.
Yeah, like I'm in a bad mood.
I'd like to not spread the news.
We just lost. I don't want to hear the song that I used to associate with winning.
Well, they can't just leave in silence. There's got to be a losing song.
Just have the organ guy play something. Just let him like, let him freestyle.
That would be great.
Like, this is dealer's choice. Just do whatever you want.
He just starts playing Pink Pony Club on the organ.
Yeah, play some Papa Roach. I don't care.
That would be great if they played Last Resort as you were leaving Yankee Stadium. I'd be down for that. I love that they had Hal Steinbrenner in charge of beard policy for the Yankees, and he finally broke through all the red tape. Maybe Elon had something to do with this.
I doubt he did. I doubt it was like, hey, should we get rid of this? Yeah, I think so. All right, cool. Let's pretend it took 3 years.
They said it took years.
Let's pretend we talked to Reggie Jackson and got his thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, are there Yankees that are sitting there going like, I could have had a beard all those years? Are you kidding me?
Maybe Aaron Judge is going to grow like a ZZ Top beard now.
Oh, I hope so. He's like, it's well groomed. It's well, as long as he keeps, I think that's the rule. As long as you keep the lineup looking good.
Which even that, it's like.
Then you're good. But also, like, don't all these teams have like barbers in the clubhouse?
I don't know, man.
They should.
A sports man.
They should have barbers in the clubhouse. You got barbers at, I mean, that's the thing now. They got barbers backstage at WWE keeping everybody tight.
How do you know?
Trust me.
Shit.
Trust me. They've cut my hair.
So yeah, congrats. Chuck Knobloch could have had a beard. But now he's always got to wonder, what if I just played in the 2015?
Do you know the goatee Mariano Rivera could have had?
Oh.
People would have loved it too. They would have loved it. And now he's just going to watch all these kids. Aaron Judge going to grow a beard, and Mariano Rivera didn't get to have one. You can come out to Enter Sandman, but you can't have a beard.
Yeah, those are the rules.
If we're going to be theatrical, let's just be theatrical. You think there'll be an influx to new players wanting to join the Yankees now that they can have beards? Oh, okay.
No, but I think they won't have the option of losing players.
I want to hear from a player that said, I would have joined the Yankees except the beard thing.
I've heard that it was a growing concern with the Yankees. That's what I read.
That's a bigger Yankees problem than just beards.
Well, yeah.
John in California.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good, buddy. Hey, man. Love the new format of the show.
Thank you.
And I know it was a big change, but you and the boys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Looked at the Sirius XM app this morning and looking at your show title, and it's grammatically wrong.
Incorrect.
And so I don't know if you're just trying to. Yeah, no, it is
incorrect.
100%.
100% not.
Yeah, if it's a proper noun that naturally ends in an S, like Roberts, to make it possessive, it's apostrophe S.
You would never say Roberts is. Roberts is. Sam Roberts is.
It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter how you say it. I'm 100% sure and am right.
We bet your house on it.
You have it as incorrect.
We bet your house.
I'll bet my house. I'll bet my kids' lives on it.
All right. Well, it's your kids in your house, and I'll tell you what. And
look it up.
And if I'm wrong, I'll shake your hand, and that's the bet.
All right. So
but I'm getting your. But bro, I get your house and your kids.
That would actually. I'm so positive I'm right. I'll take the bet.
Wow.
All right, using the apostrophe.
The only time it ends in S apostrophe is if it's a plural noun. Like if you were to say my children's toys, then it would end S apostrophe. If it's a proper noun like Roberts or James or anything like that, it's S apostrophe S.
No fucking way it is.
So if I say like this is Travis's computer, I have to add an S?
No.
Correct.
I haven't added it. Can I tell you something? What's his name?
His name is Douche.
Can I tell you something, Douche?
Douche.
I've never added
No, Mr. Bag.
Yeah, sorry.
Can I tell you something, Mr. Bag? I have never done that before.
And you don't have
And I thought I was doing it the right way.
You were. 100%.
Sam says I am. I mean, Sam pays my bills.
Sam pays your bills. I understand that. I do get.
And I'm about to.
the boss
I'm about to have a new house in California and a bunch of kids.
Good luck. But no, all bullshitting aside, like being pedantic is what I do for a living in my work. So this is one of those things where, like,
what do you do for a living, character?
He's pedantic.
Being an attorney for the government in appeals.
Well, then I'll tell you what. Hope you're responding to those Elon emails. Hope you're writing your top five. You better be writing that top five or you're Dunsky.
This weekend, I told Sam his show was wrong.
Thankfully, it's not federal, so I'm still good.
Okay.
All right, so Sam, can we change the name now?
No.
Come on.
I'm right.
No, it's a stupid name.
I'm right. Thank you, John.
Did you?
We know.
Right.
We can find singular possessive. The possessive is formed in singular nouns by adding S to the end of a word, regardless of whether it ends in an S or not. But that's not a
correct.
That's not a noun.
So if you're It's a proper noun. Roberts is a proper noun. So ROBERTS'.
Proper noun ending in
Proper noun ending in S. Possessive.
Possessive. All right. I mean, I believe him.
You do?
I do, because
But
he
that's 'cause-
sounds like he knows what he's
But
talking
that's because you're just campaigning.
To make a proper noun ending in S possessive, add an apostrophe only.
As the general rule.
As a general rule is to add an apostrophe plus S to singular nouns, but for names ending in S, only the apostrophe is used unless the pronunciation requires an extra S's sound. Sam is right!
Give me your kids, bro. I don't even need the house, but I'm taking the kids. I'm taking them. Send the kids to New York. Send the kids.
If you were saying Sam Roberts,
because let me tell you
parent,
something.
that is not how you would say it. You would say Sam Roberts' parent.
But let me tell you something, okay? Because you come around here like I wasn't raised by a guy who came up in copywriting, who used to ream my ass over grammar for my entire scholarly
Ask your dad
career.
about it.
Ask my dad about it. He listens every day. You don't think he would have said something like, "Bro, that's not right." Okay,
He might just be letting you sound stupid so that he can still be the smartest
he
Roberts.
is a trickster like that. No, he's listening right now, and you know what he's doing, John? He's listening to your phone call thinking, I can't wait for the new grandkids to come over. That's what he's
I
thinking.
hope so. You can take them, but it is
You can take them.
S''S.
Incorrect.
That's
Thank
how
you.
you would say Sam Roberts. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you, John. I appreciate the call, but we will also consider naming the show Sam Wins Again. It says to make a proper noun.
That's a good name for a show.
Sam Wins Again.
Sam Wins Again.
It's been my whole career.
Welcome to Sam Wins Again.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Sam Roberts.
I'm Sam Roberts.
I have won again.
And it's or it could be Sam Roberts win, except there's an apostrophe because the win is possessive.
Sam Roberts' win.
I'm 100% right, bro. As usual, Tom in New Jersey.
You don't miss.
No.
No.
Sammy Bram Muffin.
What's up, Tom?
Hey, so I know why they started playing New York, New York after the losses.
Yeah.
So how it started was they played Frank Sinatra's New York, New York when they won.
Right.
And they played Liza Minnelli's when they lost.
Oof.
But then Liza Minnelli got pissed off about it.
I heard.
So then they played.
Tom, I heard Mateo Lane filed a complaint.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah. Oh man, so Liza Minnelli got upset and said,
"Yeah,
I mean, I wish Mateo was here to do the impression of her." Going, that's not right.
So
And
then they just started playing Frank Sinatra.
interesting. Thank you, Tom. I believe that.
Yeah.
See, in that case,
And
I believe you're right,
hey,
Tom.
and fuck hot dog.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. No. Yeah, you'll find as the days go on that I don't miss. And a lot of people, you know what they say? The other name, this is the name McClure pitched me for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Sam is him, is what he said. The name just him.
Because you are.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, just got. Okay, well, you will say from the senior Roberts, you take my dad's word at gospel on basically everything, correct?
Over my wife's.
Okay. Here's we just got confirmation via text. I didn't even ask. He's listening.
Of course he is.
At best, a choice, but for clarity, only apostrophe.
I knew it. I knew it. I've been doing it forever.
Bro,
I knew it.
This guy was a copywriter in the Don Draper era, okay?
No, he was the inspiration for Don Draper.
Yes. He stole a guy's identity when he was in the army.
Yeah, I know. I knew it.
That's where the Roberts name begins. Mike, you ever do that when you were serving? Steal a guy's identity when you got back?
No, but I would have done it with someone with a huge penis, like John Hamm. I mean, if you're going to steal an identity.
I love that you put those pieces together. I said madman. All you can think about is John Hamm's penis. And so, how do I circle this back? No, I get it. As soon as you said like John Hamm, I was like, yep, I heard that too.
And if you're going to take someone's identity, charismatic guy with a big dick.
Yeah, no. Both those things are true about John Hamm. By the way, Mike, into your wheelhouse, we got the Travis Teff baseball talk. I am hearing that the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to rally so that in the 2025 season, the tush push is no more.
You heard of the Steelers? I heard of the Packers.
Oh, is it the Packers?
That's who I heard. You would think the Packers would be in favor of pushing from behind.
I don't think they're that kind of Packers. It's a good little line though. It's a good little joke. Yeah.
It was an unnamed team, but somebody said it was the Packers.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Yeah. Whatever team. I like that it's so controversial that the team doesn't want to be public.
Because you're admitting that you're kind of a pussy.
Because you can't be the first team that says the tush push is not a good play.
It's a great play.
Well, it's very dangerous.
It's brilliant. It's just a brilliant football play.
It's men getting run over by their own team.
But it works. It gets the ball across the line that the ball is supposed to go across.
But is it really like in the Super Bowl they're doing tush pushes now? Yeah. The Super Bowl. What if we said you can't do the tush push postseason? Like, you could do the tush push regular season games, but once we get into the divisionals, we can't tush push anymore. This is ridiculous.
This is veering into the world of mothers interfering with like Little League, and everybody gets to bat, and they start doing all of these things.
You're saying if we outlaw the tush push, what's next? We're not keeping score anymore?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a mercy rule?
Yeah. Now, there are people that say tush push is an illegal assist. No?
So the NFL rulebook changes all the time. So you used to not be able to...
It's a living document. It's what they call it, a living document.
Yeah, it's constantly changing. Like after we saw the kickoffs would be the the most visible version of that, and like the extra point getting moved back. So they do change it quite frequently. That
has to be a real nerdy meeting to be in before the season starts. What little tiny little things do you want to change before the season begins?
Oh, it's a huge deal. Yeah, the rules in the competition committee, because the coaches keep stuff throughout the season, little things that kind of irk them or irritate them about the way games are officiated or the way
they'll
rules
meet with
work.
all the coaches,
and then they submit. They have like all these big off-season meetings where all of this goes on, and they submit their stuff, and some stuff carries more weight than others.
Suggestion box is probably the least weight.
Yeah, I feel like the thing with the suggestion box is that it's prone to pranks.
Mike, what would you put in a suggestion box?
Oh, health class. Oh, did we have a good time with that? Because they had an anonymous box.
Sure.
Because there might be a lot of questions that kids would be afraid to ask publicly.
Right, and whether you want to ask about them or not, for the sake of the class, they should be asked. So the lack of security around the suggestion box is a real issue.
So our health, Mr. Parsons had to read a lot of questions about whether it was gay or not if your boyfriend liked to finger up the butt during a blowjob.
I can see where
that'd
be a complicated thing to navigate.
And he reassured the class that enjoying that does not make you gay.
Right, but if it's your boyfriend.
Well, if you're written in a girl's handwriting.
Oh, so the girl would be worried. So you'd get a girl to write it.
You recruit a friend.
Sure, of course. It's an operation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the girl would write it because she's concerned that her boyfriend might be gay.
Yeah,
but
as dot the I's with a couple hearts.
As Mr. Parsons says, it's totally normal.
A lot of men like having their prostate stimulated.
Which then leads you in the class to assume, what about Mr. Parsons?
That he's experienced this before.
I could only be drawn to the same conclusion.
Now we have something to talk about where we're riding around during driver's ed.
It's just one class carries over to the next. That's really, really great. That's really, really great. So you are pro tush push.
I think it's a great play.
You love it.
Find a way to stop it, or find a way to keep teams out of situations where they can use it.
Right, and it's one of those like, look, these are the rules. So if there's not something telling me, like, we should be able to take advantage and push every rule to the absolute limit to get the ball in the end zone.
That is all football is finding ways to manipulate the rules to give yourself an advantage in space.
Yeah. There was just something about watching a human being get trampled by his own team that I was like, this long term seems like it's going to be real bad. How much do you want these points?
There are a lot of things about the sport that aren't good for your body long term.
I would say all of them. All the things about the sport.
Certainly, and they've culled certain things. If you go back and watch
That's a good point.
NFL's greatest hits from the 90s, it looks like they're trying to murder people.
Yeah, well, we didn't know.
It's awesome.
It was just Will Smith that was running around yelling about all these concussions. Nobody believed him.
Well, it wasn't a very good movie.
It's a real bad movie, actually. Yeah, it's dumb.
And he lost a lot of credibility because of other stuff.
Yeah, because he gave a concussion to Chris Rock at the awards. Okay, I'm getting this in. Tush Push. I'm not aware of any other situation where another offensive player can aid in the advancement of another offensive player with the ball. That is the criticism that I read, that's where the assist comes in.
Is it specifically banned? Because I think there have been plenty of running plays where offensive linemen have kind of jammed runners along.
Mm. Well, let's talk about jamming runners in the Tush Push. Has got me feeling all kinds of ways. Scott in Las Vegas. By the way, Scott, I'll be up in your neck of the woods on the 17th, I want to say, of April. That's the Thursday before WrestleMania at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas doing a live Not Sam Wrestling podcast. Tickets, they're on Ticketmaster, but the link's at notsam.com. What's going on, Scott?
I'll make sure I come out and see you on the 17th of April.
My man.
I just want to say, as an Eagles fan, if you can't stop it, stop complaining about it. The 31 other teams can run it. They don't run it as good. So that's like stopping Mahomes from throwing to Kelsey because he catches the ball all the time.
The Eagles
it's a legal play, so just shut up and deal with it.
The Eagles are real good at it, too. Real good. All right. Thank you, Scott. I do think it's unfair for Eagles fans to be the ones going like, nope, this is fine, because it really is benefiting the Eagles quite a bit. Wheezy in Ohio.
Hey,
That's right.
Sammy Woke Socks.
What's up?
Hey, you're looking like one of them participation trophy kids.
Why is
should be anything you can do to get across that line into the goal. That's it. Game over.
Well, Travis? What do you think? You're a wiener about baseball, like wanting to be like, traditional rules in the game. So, are you a wiener about football too? Do you dislike?
I don't think I'm a wiener about anything.
You're a wiener about most things.
I'm pretty cool.
We'll go to Mike on this one. What's been your experience?
You said winner.
No.
Oh.
Are you a Tush Push fanatic?
I'm not a fanatic, but I don't think it should be banned,
because
I understand why teams want to ban it, because it's a play that
it's impossible to stop.
Well, yeah, it does feel like I guess in a way it almost feels like cheating, but like you have to do it right, and there are teams that can't do it, and there are teams that do it differently. But like,
yeah, what's the other name for it? Like, one of the other teams has a different name than Tush Push, and it sucks.
Yeah,
Tush Push is the name.
Yeah. Even though if they don't want to even admit
to that. Brotherly...
Yeah, the Eagles have been trying to get the brotherly shove.
Yeah. Nobody's doing that.
Well, Philadelphia's a very homophobic city. They don't want to be associated with pushing tushes.
I've heard that about Philadelphia. It's weird. The city of brotherly love. Not like that!
No.
But you guys are saying because it's not expressly outlawed, it's like you should... And you should be in all sports. The goal is to win the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, give me the rules.
Yeah.
And then let us go through these rules and see how far we can absolutely push it. What is the absolute limit to push inside these boundaries that you've created?
Oh, yeah. People used to get furious with Belichick all the time because he would do things with formations that were so far outside of anything anyone had seen, but they were to the letter of the rule. And what you do is you grab the official before the game. You explain, hey, we do X, Y, and Z. If you see this personnel package go on the field, it's probably going to happen. We'll give you a heads up so you don't call the penalty and blow the whole thing.
And explain to the official that, like, this is why you wouldn't blow a penalty on this.
Yeah, you have a little meeting. You go over it, like, word for word. We're like, hey, this is what we do.
That's nuts.
This is the rule. You confirm it with the official so that you can run it, and so that way you don't have an issue when it happens. Like that Dan Campbell thing when Detroit was playing the Cowboys a couple years ago. Like, that's the kind of thing you need to spell out before the game.
In advance.
Yeah.
Wow, that level of planning is nuts.
Oh,
and the idea that, like, you wouldn't see this as an official. You will see this as not being allowed, but it absolutely is allowed because here's the rule and here's what we're actually doing.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things about football is that it's this sport played by these brutes.
Right.
But the planning is done by these guys who are so meticulous about everything.
Yes. Yeah, and the brutes just learn to follow instruction to the letter.
Just do the thing. When you hear this, you're going to do this.
This is exactly what you do. Don't think about, and that is, I mean, it honestly is something that in life more people should be comfortable with. Just do the thing. Stop thinking about if you're on step 1, stop thinking about step 3, stop thinking about step 4. Like, come up with the plan. Step 1 leads to step 2, to step 3, to step 4, to step 5. And then just do step 1. That's it.
That was the big saying around the Patriots, and you'll hear Brady throw it in during broadcast once in a while, was do your job.
Yeah, like that's it. Here's the job. Tell me what the job is. Just do the job.
It'll like almost accidentally slip out of him when he's talking about something. He'll just get annoyed and just do your job.
By the way, did you see the Sunday conversation that Caleb Presley did with Tom Brady?
No. I saw that.
It was so fucking funny.
Did you see when he like just totally got him?
Yeah. You want to pull it up so Mike can see it? You'll get a kick out of this. So Caleb Presley, he was working at Barstool. I should have asked the guys about him yesterday, but he does Sunday conversations, which I've talked about before. It's like my favorite thing ever. I just really enjoy them. He's really funny. But he did the same thing that our pal, what's his name? Sean from Hot One. Sean, it's not Sean Evans. Evans? Yeah. That's what it is. Okay. Sean Evans did, where like they have kind of branched out and made huge deals based around this show and have kind of left the companies that they were in. But Caleb had Tom Brady on his Sunday Conversations interview show, and he got him. He got Tom Brady real good. And Mike, as a guy who loves all the little details.
This isn't about the jiu-jitsu instructor.
No. And he didn't go there because he's not going to sit there and the goal is not to have Tom Brady storm out. The goal is to have all of us have a chuckle. And this one, the fact that you can get any chuckle at Tom Brady's expense, I think is a win. And it was so funny because as he was, even as he's setting it up, I go, I know what he's doing. And it took Tom a second. Watch this. Tom Brady sitting down with Caleb Presley.
I mean,
I don't want to spoil.
How the segment goes is basically I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you to do the color commentary on how you would announce this scenario.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm going to give it my best shot.
Okay. Keep in mind it's a Super Bowl.
Okay.
It's the fourth quarter.
Okay.
There's 9 seconds left.
Yeah.
It's 2nd and 10.
Yeah.
They're on the opposite 49-yard line.
Okay.
And the quarterback has to throw a Hail Mary and it's incomplete and they lose the Super Bowl.
Well, he doesn't have to throw a Hail Mary at that point. He could try to gain something a little bit shorter with 9 seconds left and 2nd down.
But he did.
He threw a Hail Mary. Well, hopefully he can buy time to move out of the pocket and get a crow hop in it.
He didn't.
No, he didn't.
You think he should have?
Can you pause for a second?
I thought that it was...
I mean, Caleb is in heaven right now. He's like, holy shit.
It's actually working.
I got him. He did. He didn't.
Well, he could probably buy some. He didn't.
He didn't.
Well, hopefully he did. He didn't.
Like, it's gone from a hypothetical to this is exactly what happened.
Because you would expect.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Caleb, he's like, there's no way he's going to remember this.
He's going to chuckle. It's going to be a quick bit, and then we're going to move on to the next one.
He's going to know exactly what I'm talking about.
And he goes, oh.
You think he should have?
I thought that with 9 seconds left, I would try to get something short out of bounds to make the Hail Mary throw less far.
Why are you lying to us?
I'm not lying. I'm telling you what a smart quarterback would do. A smart play caller, you try to advance the ball a little further down the field.
Patriots versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
It's fourth quarter.
Yeah.
9 seconds left. 2nd and 10.
Oh, well, I didn't realize I was throwing it. Well, in that case, I could reach the end zone. So
ball's on the opposite 49-yard line.
I don't remember the specifics of that. Those I try to erase from my memory.
That was you.
I know. Well, now that you bring it up.
Tom, that was you.
He's so annoyed.
Well, now I understand it was me. See, these are things when I played so many games, they kind of, unless I win, they don't really stick. They just... That was a mistake.
I mean,
it's one of the best things.
Brilliantly.
I mean, to perfection. to perfection.
And you know Tom's just stewing.
He's seething, but he's done his training. He did his Zuckerberg How to Be a Person training, and he's realizing that I have to smile and laugh at this, otherwise people will be angry at me.
Be a good sport.
Yeah, have to be a good sport. I mean, he tore a room apart when he left there.
I mean, he thought about that fucking play the whole way home.
Oh, yeah, he did.
All day, the next day.
Because he said, too, there's a minute in there where he said, why would you bring that up? Like, he's worked very hard to forget that. Like, the degree of control that Tom Brady tries to actively put on his brain has to be unfathomable. And the fact that Caleb, of all people, Caleb from Sunday Conversations, penetrated the control and brought a bad memory back to Tom Brady.
With no issue.
None. He got him. He nailed him.
It's a guy with a puffy face and a bolo tie.
I mean, it's not even clean shaven. He's like, no. Yeah, can you imagine? Tom Brady is in a room looking, Tom Brady, millionaire, billionaire guy, Tom Brady. Now he's got the millionaire, announcing job. Greatest quarterback of all time. No question about that after the Super Bowl this year. Greatest quarterback of all time. And he's staring at this guy, Caleb, in his bolo tie with his long hair, asking goofball questions, going, this guy will never beat me. Because make no mistake about it, everything Tom Brady does in his life is a competition. Every single time Tom Brady wakes up, it's a competition. And Caleb beat him. So now he has to think about not only the time he lost to the Eagles, but also that Caleb beat him. He's furious. This is going to take, I mean, a lot of time in an empty room, dark, to just figure out Tom. He's going to be like Tony Perkis talking to himself at the end of Heavyweights. Tony, it's not your fault. It's their fault. Yeah, it's their fault.
You see Ben Stiller shouted them out on Twitter because it was the anniversary?
No.
Oh, yeah. I figured you were.
What Ben Stiller put up? I'm a big Ben Stiller guy at the moment because somebody finished season 1 of Severance.
How good is it?
So fucking good. And by the way,
I'm glad everybody's on board now.
I am so glad that I didn't start season 1 until now. Because if season 1 had ended where it ended,
which it did,
and it did,
yeah, no, I can confirm that.
And then I had to sit there and wait for what, 2 years?
3 years.
3 years? If I had to wait for 3 years after the end of season 1, I'd be in a rage the whole 3 years. You guys would not have been able to deal with me.
It was frustrating, but also it was nowhere near the amount of it wasn't even close to as popular as it is now. It was just a show that was really good.
Right.
And it's like, oh man, I can't wait till that comes back. Now I feel like all of a sudden everybody is on board and it's the most popular show in the country. And
yes.
Everybody loves it for good reason. It's my favorite show.
I think a lot of people found it in the 3 years.
Yes.
And then a lot of people started talking. It did a really good job of marketing
Incredible.
it. And yeah, but I think that also means the pressure's on now to deliver.
It's absolutely on, yeah.
Oh man. Ben Stiller wrote.
So he quote tweeted this.
So somebody wrote, happy 30th anniversary to the most underrated Disney movie of all time. It's not the most underrated Disney movie of all time. It's the most underrated movie of all time. Remember when you said that as far as movies go, you don't have a 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
I do.
What is it?
Heavyweights. It's literally my favorite movie. Danielle, you ever seen this movie, Heavyweights?
No, I haven't, but I'm so intrigued right
It's
now.
incredible.
It's flawless.
The only fat on that movie is the kids.
That's 100% true. Garner, Gerald. And by the way, I'm social media friends with Garner Gerald Garner.
Bro.
Yeah.
How do you just?
He's a hot in shape guy now.
Remember the new name of the show?
Sam wins again. Sam is him.
So the Perkis system worked.
It worked. I mean, like gangbusters. Somehow, this is what Ben Stiller wrote, somehow I don't think this will be at the head of the Disney Plus queue ever. Well, it's on top of my list. In fact, I'm not sure they are aware they made it. But that was an incredibly fun summer in North Carolina 30 years ago. Yeah, this is like Judd Apatow wrote it, I think.
Did he?
I think Judd Apatow wrote it. Paul Feig is in it. But I mean, it's this Disney movie, and this is when Disney was at this interesting period where they weren't exactly sure. Does he have writer credit on it, Judd Apatow?
Checking.
He's in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have writer.
Judd Apatow wrote it. Paul Feig is like one of the stars. Does Judd Apatow have a cameo or something in it?
It says his name is Homer. Is he like
Okay,
in
no.
the cast?
Maybe. But like, this is when Disney was like, not
Very weird time.
Very weird time. So they were putting out stuff that is probably too edgy for what Disney was before and what Disney would be after. And it's also culturally like a very interesting time because we didn't exactly know where things were going to land. But Keenan is in it. Keenan Thompson, Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks is in it. And Gerald Garner, obviously, he's the man. But it's a movie about fat camp. And also, what's his name? Hey Now is in it.
Oh, Jeffrey Tambor.
Yeah, Jeffrey Tambor is Gerald Garner's father. Going first and last for everything. Ben Stiller is the star. His parents, Ben Stiller's parents, Mira and what's his face?
Frank Costanza?
Stiller and Mira. Stiller and Mira are in the movie. Like it's just so many legends are in this movie. And there's a lot of, this is actually pretty dark. Like you can see where Judd Apatow, I think, was involved in making The Cable Guy. I think we've had that conversation before. But how The Cable Guy gets kind of dark at points. Heavyweights gets pretty dark too at points. Like what Tony Perkis is going through. But basically, it's this fat camp. And all these fat kids are going to it. But it's really like kind of a fun fat camp. Except then when the kids get there, they realize that Stiller and Mira have...
Wait, are you about to spoil it?
No.
Okay.
I won't spoil it.
Okay.
This is the kind of the premise.
Okay.
Stiller and Mira have gone into bankruptcy.
Okay.
So they've sold the camp to this guy, Tony Perkis, who wants to make the most popular weight loss infomercial that the world has ever seen. And he's going to do it at camp. And the kids are going to be the star of his infomercial. And, he ends up being not a very nice person. But, maybe somebody who's got issues with his parents and stuff. It's just so... Lunch has been canceled.
Don't give it away. Danielle, you got Disney Plus?
I do.
All right.
Is it on there?
Oh, yeah, it is. Put it at the top of your queue.
I'll watch it ASAP.
You're going to have to do the search ski for it. Are you going to watch it today?
Yeah, maybe.
You going to come back tomorrow with a review?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to know, my take on this.
Yeah. I would love
if it aged poorly.
Because I feel like... I watch it regularly, and I feel like it's aged perfectly.
Okay, but from maybe my perspective?
You may have a different perspective than me. We're both kids, but you may have you may have a different perspective, Also, Gerald Garner is an Islanders fan in it. That's so weird and random.
Team of the future, I say.
I say too. Team of the future. Yeah, it's just... It's not like my favorite Disney movie. It's in my top 5 movies ever. It's right up there. It's in my perfect movie list. Heavyweight's a perfect movie. Scream is a perfect movie. The Shining is a perfect movie. The Prestige might be there.
Wow, that's your top 4?
Maybe. I'd really have to sit with it. I like a lot of movies, as you know.
Yeah, you crush it with movies.
I'm one of the great movie people.
Have you seen Big Fat Liar?
No.
What?
Is it great?
Oh, it's so good.
That's with
you used to work with him, right?
Pig Vomit is in it, and Frankie. He wasn't a liar. Pig Vomit is in it, and Frankie Muniz is in it, right?
Yeah, Frankie. Yeah, and
and Amanda Bynes.
Yeah.
This was like that. This was like before Amanda Bynes disappeared and then came back. Did you see Amanda Bynes was at a 50 Cent meet and greet?
No.
Yes, and it was just like she bought a ticket with her friend. And they went to a meet and greet, but somebody had a video, and it was like, that's Amanda Bynes taking a picture with 50 Cent. See, look. She's just there, going up to the step and repeat.
That's so weird.
Just taking a picture with 50 on her phone.
But okay.
Yeah. Live your life, girl.
Yeah.
So you love Big Fat Liar?
Yeah, it's
perfect.
My favorite movie. Yes.
This is your favorite movie?
Yes.
Wow.
2002, I watched it all the time as a kid. Me and my sisters bond over it all the time. It's funny. It's do you know what it's about?
No, not really.
He's a liar. Frankie, he's a liar.
Frankie Muniz is a liar?
Yeah, in the movie.
Malcolm?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
His teachers hate him. His parents, no one trusts him because he's a liar and a schemer and a prankster. and he just I don't want to spoil it.
Don't spoil it.
Yeah, but
when big-time Hollywood producer Marty Wolf steals his class paper and turns it into a smash hit movie, no one believes Jason's latest.
Oh, because he's a liar.
He's a
'Cause
liar.
he's a liar.
This is The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
Yes.
By the way, the idea that Big Fat Liar is your favorite Paul Giamatti movie is a wild take. The fact that it's your favorite movie overall, I love that. Have you ever seen Private Parts?
No.
Paul Giamatti's great in Private Parts.
Yeah,
you
this
are
is
the
how I
devil.
Fuck you. Oh, Sandra Oh.
Wow, look at this. Donald Faison. I love me some Donald Faison.
Donald Faison. John Cho.
Yeah.
Harold.
Okay.
No, Harold.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say, man.
I was making sure he wasn't Kumar. And then I was like, there's no way.
You're going in your head. And you're like,
Yeah, I was like, Harold or Kumar? No, it's definitely Harold.
Oh, he's one of the MILF guys, too.
He is one of the MILF guys from
American Pie.
That's right.
He invented
Oh, that's
it.
right.
MILF. 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 Pat O'Brien's in it as a reporter.
Just saw that.
Let me tell you something, Nancy.
Streaming.
Wow.
Yeah, this could be our exchange. I'll watch Heavyweights.
By the
You guys
way,
gotta
I don't think it's available anywhere.
well, it's available for
Well, I
purchase.
have it on DVD.
Hey, can you burn us some copies?
You got a DVD burner? Can you pass the disc around? I could add it to my streaming service.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's on Dubin Plus. Let me check.
That's illegal.
It's got everything.
No, I mean, I've heard of Big Fat Liar. I'm well aware of it. Let's watch the trailer together.
Okay. Hang on.
Are you gonna get excited?
This is literally like a hot dog, like him with James Bond.
Is you with Big Fat Liar?
Yeah.
So if Amazon was like, we acquired the IP of Big Fat Liar, you'd go, don't bastardize
Yeah,
this.
I'd be so upset.
Yeah, I get that.
It's like with Freaky Friday as well. They're making a second one, and I feel similarly to that movie.
Are you happy that they're making the second
No,
one, or not so
I'm
happy?
not actually.
And when you say it's,
Isn't it with
you're talking about
it's the same.
with Haley Mills, right? The original. That's the one you like.
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
All right.
no,
My bad.
no. Lindsay Lohan. No.
Oh, okay. I've seen that one too. Yeah, I've seen that they're doing that with like old Jamie Lee Curtis and adult Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
It could be good, but just don't touch.
Don't mess with it.
Gold. Yeah.
Big Fat Liar's not on Dubin Plus. That's a bummer.
This is I don't.
What?
Your bootleg services are of no interest to me.
You like it too?
No,
All right. And then remove yourself.
I'm not on it. I'm not on that.
Yeah, you are.
Nope.
You saw they added the Brutalist.
No, I didn't. Anyway, this trailer for Big Fat Liar.
Jason, you awake?
Yeah, Dad, been up for hours.
Jace, did you eat your oatmeal?
Yeah, thanks, Mom. It was delicious.
These are all lies.
Oh my God! He fed the oatmeal to the dog.
Shepard likes to stretch the truth. Producer Marty Wolf has never told
I mean,
the
this
truth.
is. Can you pause already? I'm already like.
You see that eyebrow?
You're sold?
I'm so charmed by the whole aesthetic, and I forgot you're such a junkie for early 2000s,
Yes.
like which is well, it's just my favorite. But like this movie trailer in and of itself is like so the voiceover guy, the way they're setting up the plot, like everything about it is like this is like. It reminds me of the trailer for Blank Check, which is, by the way,
I think it's the same movie.
it could be the same. Have you ever seen the film Blank Check?
No.
I'll tell you about it in
but
a minute.
I know about it a little
Okay,
bit.
all right. Let's go back to Big Fat Liar.
I'm on the phone.
Fate brought them together,
Thanks for the ride, gentlemen.
but a lie.
It's a
will
lot
keep
like
them
Blank Check, to
together.
tell you the truth.
Big Fat Liar is already being touted as next summer's must-see movie event.
Oh, Pat
Guy stole
O'Brien.
my paper.
How'd you come up with this idea?
Some ideas just come to you.
Yeah, from my backpack, you loser!
Oh,
Guys,
man.
We're going on the trip.
Now, two friends are on a mission.
Friends.
Hey, remember me? I wrote Big Fat Liar.
This is Hollywood. We play by our own rules to make one man's life a living nightmare.
It's payback time. They're airborne.
Got it.
Hollywood loves movies about Hollywood. Oh, I
Hollywood
think
also
so.
loves movies about kids who can do anything.
Right. Did they hijack a helicopter?
You gotta watch it.
Oh, okay. You want to
Suddenly
Even
they're in
better.
some control room with 100 buttons and they know exactly what to do.
Oh no, you'll know why.
Oh, okay. Oh.
They explain it, right?
It makes sense.
It's payback time. They're airborne.
Got it.
What's happening? We gotta jump!
Can I take a message? Mr. Wolf is about to go into a meeting.
Oh, she's doing a secretary
Color
voice.
dye?
You really think it's gonna work?
Oh, he's blue. He's looking a little Tobias Funke there.
What?
Charisma from Marcus Duncan's office.
Give me his address.
867 North Maple Drive.
Isn't it Travis, by the way, getting a good giggle out of it? It's like, that's pretty funny. They tricked him.
Hey, Marty, I like your
Soundtrack's
coloring.
good.
It worked for you.
You did this.
Hiya. Call me.
Big Fat Liar.
We're moving into phase 4.
Back off, man!
They told me to pick up a little blue car. They didn't say anything about a little blue man.
You love that line. You love that line.
I know the whole thing.
There's one issue.
Yeah? Really?
Yep.
What?
One.
Go ahead.
I saw the credits screen that they put up with everybody's name on it.
Okay.
Oh.
It said story by Dan Schneider.
Yep. Yep.
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider. You got to see HBO Max documentary.
No, he was just a strict boss.
That's right. Oh, I don't think I can watch this.
It's
Is it
actually
canceled?
crazy because I didn't realize it was him until recently, but it's like...
It's okay.
Yeah,
the Weinsteins put out all those Quentin Tarantino movies, and those are my favorite movies of all time.
We are not giving up those Tarantino movies.
No.
Like my generation, we still love Drake and Josh and iCarly and all that.
You got to, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're not ready to give them up.
Yeah.
Separate the art from the artist when it comes to Harvey Weinstein. I mean, luckily these are producers. Luckily this is a story by credit. It doesn't mean he wrote it. He probably just came up with something in his office and gets to take credit for everything that everybody does.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Yeah.
You know. He didn't do anything.
Of course.
Probably wasn't even on the set. Not with Frankie Muniz. No. No. All right. I mean, I know a lot of people love Big Fat Liar, so Blank Check is great. I mean, Blank Check is similar, but like in the sense that they like he gets a blank check from a bad guy who happens to have $1 million in the bank that's waiting to be picked up by Tone Loc, and then he accidentally runs over Preston's bicycle, and he's in a rush to get away from people. He's like a mafia guy or whatever, so he just gives Preston a blank check and says, "Your dad can fill this out." And then Preston happens to fill it out for $1 million, which is the exact amount of cash that he has in the bank. He gets the $1 million in cash, and now he's Mr. Macintosh, and he buys about $400 million worth of items throughout the course of the movie. Because who knows what $1 million is in '93, you know? We're kids. All right, guys. We did it all. We're going to have more to do tomorrow, so make sure that you are there with us bright and early in the morning. We'll see you then. Have a good one.
This has been Sam Roberts Show. If you missed anything or want to hear it all over again, check out Sam Roberts Show on the SXM app.
Citation's fine.
I saw that Ellen was getting some credit for this for the 10-year anniversary. I said, well, that's making, to me, the dress a little more problematic than I remember it being. This is one of the few kind of innocent internet trends, although it was divisive. It was divisive this is before, like, if this dress came out now, it would somehow, turn into a right-wing, left-wing, like, political. But I never really...
Somehow government employees would be fired.
They would. It
would inspire think pieces about the problem with seeing the dress in a certain color.
That's right. Yeah, the privilege of seeing... If you see it as blue and black, that probably is because you have to consider the community that you were raised in.
Or it disrespects the Chicano heritage of the dressmaker.
Yeah, that's right. We can't forget about the Chicano heritage or the land that the dress was actually produced on.
What about the patriarchy?
And don't forget about the patriarchy and the fact that it is a dress and not a pantsuit.
And how dare a man tell us what color to think a dress is?
Why would a man know what color a dress is? And by the way, who's to say what gender would wear a dress? Who's to say anything about gender,
Yeah, how dare you?
This has been we're too boxed in with this dress right now.
It was such an easier time 10 years ago.
And I'd be going, I thought just the colors. I thought we were going to talk about the color. But so in 10 years, in 3,000, because I'm sure I heard about it first from Ellen, because at the time, Ellen was on top of all the internet trends. Ellen still, her YouTube videos of her interviewing every person that popped off on YouTube, like she cemented herself in internet history in this era, in like the 20 teens. If it was going on the internet, Ellen was all about it, and she made sure of that. because she had her staffers in fear for their lives if they weren't on top of everything going on the internet.
Well, they were locked in their offices.
For days at a time. And she would come in and she'd see, it was like a prison cell. The mattresses would be on fire. Every now and then a writer would smear feces on the wall as a form of protest.
They'd be loading up their MP3 players.
And they'd load up MP3 players that they were paying $1.29 for. A lot of them picked the 8 gig. She only allowed non-explicit lyrics.
Of course. She's too nice.
But I will tell you, in all the 3,650 days, the 10 years that this, and it's probably a couple more days because I'm sure there were a few leap years thrown into the last decade. First of all, the fact that it's a decade is a little frightening. Like I would have said 3 years ago. If you said when was the dress, I would have said about 3 years ago. But apparently it was 10 years ago, and in that decade, I've done a lot. I've done so much. I'm being very reflective now, and in the last decade, I was a different person.
How many kids did you have when this dress came out?
I mean, at least I had when the dress first popped off. When Ellen first showed the world the dress. There were no kids.
0 kids.
Now you can't even count. There's so many. They keep showing up.
You just lose count every time you try to count.
That's right. I got more jobs and kids than I know what to do with now. Then it was like 0 and 1. It was
so you had a lot of time to think about it.
Yes, but I will tell you, as much as I had hair and no beard.
That's right.
It was a crazy time. But as much as
you hated the Super Bowl halftime show.
I hated.
I saw that photo.
Yeah. But as much has changed, as much of a different human being as I am, there hasn't been one day in all those 10 years where I haven't looked at that dress and clearly seen a blue and black dress, and to a large extent, honestly, thought of people who saw it as blue and gold, as white and gold, as less than.
Yeah.
Like to me, this was never about like, oh, isn't it interesting that people see it differently?
No.
I said, no, this is a right and wrong thing. This is, if you don't see blue and black, there is like the synapses are not firing properly in your brain.
You never once questioned?
No. I said, of course, I'm looking at it. I know, I trust my eyes. I trust my brain. I said, maybe there's some kind of schizophrenia going on in people who see white and gold. But if I saw white and gold on this dress, I would realize that there's something wrong. I can't trust my brain, and the thoughts that it sends me are probably bad ideas. Like I got one of those brains that tells me to do bad things, and I can't listen to it.
Like driving to a river if the 100%, GPS says so?
100%. 100%.
You think those are the type of people that see white and gold?
Yes, I do.
I'm sitting right here.
And then I found out. Danielle's this morning going like, yeah, that white and gold dress. And I was like, the what dress?
Yep.
Fuck.
Excuse me? What do you send? Text with green bubbles? A white and gold dress? I've never seen a white and gold dress on the internet before. Not on a red carpet. Never. And she goes, this dress has been white and gold from day one.
Yep.
And you still see white and gold when you look at that dress.
100%. Never. It's never wavered. It's never like...
You don't see blue.
No.
By the way, that monitor...
Not at all.
That monitor is a different color setting. The one monitor behind me...
Still...
That's a deeper blue and black.
No, it's just still gold and white, actually.
There's something wrong with you.
I don't get it.
You should go to a doctor.
Yeah.
No. It's, Mike,
a couple.
Mike, please.
I mean, I see a bluish purple and a dark brown, black, something along those lines.
And he's impaired.
Closer to the color scheme that Travis and Sam are getting.
The darker color, yeah. Plus, I mean, you know you're already in trouble when you're like, oh, the guy with the lazy eye, he'll be on my side. Like, you, at that point, you're like...
It narrows the field of vision.
Yeah. I actually have a much deeper focus. Yeah, I can't believe... And I don't know if I've ever met anybody that thought it was a white and gold dress before. I knew that they were out there. I knew that there were people who claimed it. But I honestly, for a long time, I thought people were saying white and gold because they wanted attention.
Just to be difficult?
They thought, yeah. They were being difficult. They were being different. They were like, no. It was like when I was in 6th grade, I pretended I didn't like the album Dookie because everybody else liked the album Dookie. And I was like, no, Green Day sucks. I was lying.
You're on the wrong side of history.
I was on the wrong side of history, and I was a total liar. There's no way in 6th grade you could have put that album on and I wasn't rocking out. I was lying. But I didn't want to go along with what everybody else is saying. And I do feel like there is a strong possibility. I mean,
You think Danielle's just trying to be difficult?
Very possibly.
It's not true. This divided the cafeteria in 7th grade for me.
7th grade.
Because we really did.
I was already working.
I know, I'm sorry. I was 13.
Don't
No, actually, I was 12.
No, it is your fault. You should apologize. You couldn't have possibly been in 7th grade. You're an adult.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No.
This just came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure you were applying for internships when this came out.
Yeah, but I wasn't getting jobs based on it.
Oh, please. If I had asked this question, I'm going to start, by the way, asking what color this dress is in internship interviews.
You wouldn't have hired her?
No.
Wow.
Poof.
I get it. I wouldn't have wanted to work with you if I knew blue and black.
You would have been like, why? What do you Actually, let me throw that question back at you. What do you think?
Just kidding. I don't want this job.
And then you'd be like, I gotta go. My connection's breaking up.
Yeah, this place sucks. So in the cafeteria, there were people who thought white and gold?
Yes.
Yeah, right. It was just you.
Nope. Nope.
Just sitting at a table by herself. Me and all my friends
Me
think
and
it's
the
white
skull.
and gold.
Drinking her chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It's definitely white and gold.
Sweatpants are the only thing that fits me right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's crazy.
I mean, I do too. And the fact that, like, there's never been... Didn't they bring the dress out on one of those, like, morning shows or something like that? Didn't the Today Show get real cute and actually get the dress?
Oh, did they?
Which it's like, that's almost like when you're stepping into Oz, you know what I mean? Like, you almost don't want to remove it from the internet.
Well, you got to drag it into the public square.
Right, that's true. That's true. Maybe Neil deGrasse Tyson didn't believe the dress existed at all. I feel like one of the programs, one of the news programs, had the dress there.
All right, let me see.
And where is this dress now?
Burned.
Yeah,
be in a
it's too divisive, so they can't bring it out. They're worried that there'll be wars waged around it. Because I think when you actually like have the dress in person, it's clearly okay. What about this person who's like playing with the hues and stuff in the photo? When the photo gets very dark,
I still don't see it.
You still don't
are
see
you
it?
serious?
You don't. These
Like,
look
to
the
me,
same to you.
okay, no, the one on the right literally just looks like if you put a filter on the golden white dress
And
that
made
made
it-
it a little cold.
You just see a chilly golden white dress.
Like, it has tone